Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. Dame Marguerite heading out at the PLP. The former Governor General suggested the party is using Pinling's legacy selfishly. What the PLP chairman has to say about it. And in our interview, we are talking with the Government High School, about their Phoenix Awards. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Revolution. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Wednesday, January 11th, 2023. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Chester Robards will be joining us. And coming up in Morning Blend Business, we'll be recapping business news making headlines in the country. But first, it's time for the Overnight, the latest breaking news from while you're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, in comments that proved hugely controversial and were widely shared on social media, former Governor General Dame Marguerite Pindling accusing the PLP of using her late husband's memory and legacy for its own benefit, following an ecumenical service at St. Agnes Anglican Church marking the 56th anniversary of majority rule. Some attendees marched to the mausoleum of former Prime Minister Sir Lyndon Pindling. As she stood next to his mausoleum, Dame Marguerite wanted to get a few things straight. She said, quote, "There was a man called Lyndon Pindling who walked, talked, and didn't know a thing about South Andros until I had to go and tell the people he was coming. If we hadn't put Pindling there, Cyril Stevenson would have won." This was while PLP Chairman Fred Mitchell was standing behind her. He walked up and patted her on the elbow, but Dame Marguerite didn't flinch and kept talking. She continued asking everyone to pray for her because she was, quote, feeling very, very something today. She went on to say, quote, "I don't like what I see because nothing happened until Pindling came on the scene. I thank you for coming out today, but the leadership was so excited they forgot I existed. I just want to let you know that I am alive, doing well, of sound mind, and in good health, and waiting for all that is going to take place because I do not like it." She said, quote, "I am sorry, Mr. Mitchell. I am sorry. I cannot contain it any longer because you're using this as a stepping stone, and I do not appreciate it." Dame Marguerite continued that, quote, "I come here today in respect out of the work my husband has done along with his other fellow workers in the country. I don't want anyone to use this to play him cheap because I will not stand for it. Sorry, Mr. Prime Minister, I promised you that I was going to behave, but I think you all should know who I am by now. You owe me an apology, and I expect, Mr. Chairman, right now." With that, she turned and walked into the crowd. Many in attendance applauded. Majority rule, of course, commemorating the 1967 general election victory of the Pinling-led PLP, which defeated the United Bahamian Party. The election produced a tie between the two parties. It was only broken after Sir Randall Fox, who represented the labor movement, and Sir Alvin Brennan, an independent, both threw their support behind the PLP. After his speech, Mitchell took to the podium and thanked Dame Marguerite. He said, quote, "It's due, if any apology is due, it's due because of the goodness of our heart. It's due because we wanted to pay tribute to your husband, and it is due because we wanted to move with a quick pace to ensure that that memory is etched in the minds and collective history of our country. No disrespect to you. We all are here to support you today." Meanwhile, prominent Bahamian pastor and community activist Reverend C.B. Moss is in intensive care at the doctor's hospital after he collapsed during the majority rule service yesterday. He was part of a procession at the start of the service. Moss is walking up the aisle with other religious leaders and singing at the entrance hymns moments before he stumbled. One eyewitness said he held his chest as he collapsed. A crowd was over him as he went down. He was lifted onto a pew and was tended to by Minister of Health, Dr. Michael Darville. Shortly after, Moss was taken away in an ambulance. The Nassau Guardian learning last night that he was in an induced coma and his family awaiting an update on his condition from doctors caring for him. Moss, a former senator, is the senior pastor of Mount Olive Baptist Church in Bangtown and is well known for his community's social outreach and activism. Police searching for a man who reportedly sexually assaulted a 14-year-old girl at her residence in eastern New Providence. The incident reportedly occurring between Monday, January 2nd and Sunday, January 8th. Police providing no further information on the matter. In a separate incident, police had previously reported that a woman was sexually assaulted during a burglary in southern New Providence early Sunday. Shortly after 5 a.m., 3 men armed with firearms entered a Marshall Road home occupied by a man, a woman, and another family member. Police say the men reportedly tied up the occupants and robbed them of an undisclosed amount of cash and sexually assaulted the woman before fleeing. A magistrate setting bail at $5,000 for a mother of 6 who was accused of leaving her minor children home alone. 35-year-old Avery Roker of Sydney Street facing 6 counts of cruelty to children at her arraignment before Chief Magistrate Joanne Ferguson Pratt. Prosecutors allege that police were on patrol after midnight on January 7th when they saw the children alone on Boyd Road. Roker is accused of neglecting the children and causing unnecessary suffering. According to ASP Philip Davis, the children, ages 1, 5, 7, 11, 12, and 14, are at a children's home now. This prompted attorney Roker to inquire whether police had, this is Glenda Roker, her attorney, had obtained a care order signed by a magistrate authorizing their detention. Roker asked for an early trial date as she said her client's main concern was whether her children had gone to school. And police have charged a 31-year-old man, they say shot and killed a man outside his home in Coconut Grove last month. Kirkland Bullard, a resident of Florida court, appeared before Chief Magistrate Joanne Ferguson Pratt on Monday, charged with the December 22nd murder of D'Amato DeVoe. Police say DeVoe was on the porch of his home on 8th Street when he was shot. At the time of the murder, DeVoe was wearing an ankle bracelet as condition of his $7,500 bail for possession of a prohibited weapon. Bullard was remanded into custody until April 4th when he's expected to receive a voluntary bill of indictment. 8 people injured after a boat they were on crashed into a rock near Staniel Key. This happened on Monday night. 3 of the victims, 2 men and a woman, were treated at a clinic and discharged, but the other 5, 1 man and 4 women, were airlifted to New Providence for further treatment. The accident happened around 7 p.m. Police say the boat, a Crean twin-engine craft, was traveling from Black Point to Little Leaf Key when it collided into a rock at the southern point of Staniel Key near Pelican Point. Overseas, an attacker wounded 6 people in an unprovoked blade attack in Paris's busy train station this morning before being shot and wounded by police. The suspect attacked several people, including a police officer, with a bladed weapon, we're told, during the morning rush hour. The Interior Minister saying that the unaimed assailant was currently, quote, between life and death in hospital after being shot in the chest. And from Peru, a police officer on patrol attacked and burned to death by protesters in the Peruvian region of Puno, as the death toll from demonstrations in the wake of the ouster of former President Pedro Castillo has now risen to 47. The officer was on patrol with a fellow officer in a city near the border with Bolivia, and this was late Monday night when they were attacked by a mob that later set fire to their vehicle. The officer's partner in the patrol car said that the men were detained and physically attacked by some 350 protesters. The Prime Minister confirming the police officer's death in a session of Congress, saying the men were attacked by protesters. The Prime Minister announcing a 3-day curfew from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. in Puno and a day of mourning for the fallen on Wednesday today. Police, Peru's ombudsman's office, saying that since the protest began in early December after Castillo's dismissal, 39 civilians had been killed in clashes with police and another 7 had died in traffic accidents, as well as the fallen police officer now. The police officer's death coming after the killing of 17 people Monday, as protests seeking immediate elections resumed in neglected areas, or rural areas of the country, still loyal to Castillo. In sports, after not being able to stage games for the past 2 years, one of the top high school sports leagues, the Government Secondary School Sports Association, the GSSA, will get its 2023 basketball regular season underway today at the Kendall Isaacs Gym and the C.I. Gibson Senior High School Gym. President of the GSSA, Varel Davis, says that they are excited to begin to finally be playing basketball again, despite having to push the start date from December to this month because of examinations. Action gets underway at 4 p.m. The senior high schools will play at the Kendall Isaacs Gym and the junior high schools at C.I. Gibson. The Doris Johnson Mystic Marlins and the C.C. Sweeting Cobras girls and boys teams will face each other, with the girls playing first. The Mystic Marlins boys are defending champions. And the venue is ready, the chessboards are set, and the players vying for the title of the top chess player in the Bahamas have been paired, indicating that the kickoff for the 2023 Bahamas National Chess Championship is near. The event will return on Friday as an elite over-the-board national championship event featuring the strongest chess players in the country. The tournament will take place over 2 full weekends, and the tournament will be held at the J. Whitney Pinder Building on Collins Avenue. Round 1 begins at 6:30 p.m. on Friday. That's January 13th. From the NBA, Jimmy Butler taking the last free throw of the night, then bent his knees a bit and almost seemed unsure what would happen as the ball made its way to the rim. But it was perfect, and so was Miami on Tuesday. The Heat setting an NBA record by making all 40 of their free throws. The last of those coming on Butler's three-point play with 12.9 seconds left, and rallied in the final moments to beat the Oklahoma City Thunder 112-111. Miami topped the 39-for-39 effort by Utah against Portland back on December 7th, 1982. Butler scored 35 points and was 23 for 23 from the line, tying the second most makes without a miss in NBA history. James Harden holds that record, making 24 without a miss for Houston on December 3rd, 2019. Dirk Nowitzki also had 24 without a miss for Dallas in a playoff game against the Thunder on May 17th, 2011. Dominique Wilkins went 23 for 23 in a game in 1992. That's sports. And that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. In your first look at weather for today, brought to you by Chick-Charney Challenge, we've got high pressure that will remain the dominant weather feature across the northwest Bahamas, while a weak trough will support pockets of unsettled weather across the central and southeast Bahamas. Boaters should be alert for possible waterspout activity, and beachgoers should exercise caution due to the risk of rip currents in the central and southeast Bahamas. Your forecast for all areas today: partly to mostly sunny and warm with a few scattered showers and the chance of isolated thunderstorms, mainly across the central and southeastern islands. Fair and cool tonight. Smallcraft caution will come into effect by this evening for the central and southeastern islands. Smallcraft operators should also be alert for gusty winds and higher seas in or near heavy showers or thunderstorms. Winds northeast to east at 10 knots or less, falling light and variable at times in the northwest Bahamas, and northeast to east at 10 to 15 knots, increasing to 15 to 20 knots by this evening in the central and southeast Bahamas. Seas 3 feet or less in the northwestern islands, but 2 to 4 feet, and building up to 4 to 7 feet by this evening in the central and southeast Bahamas. Temperature-wise right now in Nassau, we are at about 63 degrees. We're looking at highs getting up to around 81 Fahrenheit, 27 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 61 Fahrenheit, 16 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. Brought to you by the Chick-Charney Challenge. It's time again to claw through mud, wade through water, climb a rope, and vault the 9-foot wall in the Chick-Charney Challenge, January 28th at Clifton Heritage Park. Sign up today at chickcharneychirin.com. It's time for a break, but when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
Is your 2023 goal to move into your own home? Well, future homeowner, enjoy another payday. Build or buy a home with financing from CIBC First Caribbean, and you'll receive cash back every month for 1 year. A home is one of your greatest investments, so secure one soon. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/homeowners payday for more info. Offer valid from January 9 through to March 31, 2023. Terms and conditions apply.
The new Guardian Radio app is here. Listen live to all our Guardian Radio shows and live video stream select programs in our studio. Get information about Guardian Radio shows and our hosts. Send messages, including text, email, and even call. All from our amazing new Guardian Radio app. Download it free today in your App Store for your Apple device or Play Store for your Android device. The all-new and improved Guardian Radio app.
Fidelity is concerned about your financial health. As much as we're concerned about your physical health, we have free online banking, helpful management staff. Come and start your relationship today. Fidelity, we're good for you. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. 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 Wake up, wake up. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Chester Robards.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Great to have you with us.
Glad to be here.
Hope you enjoy your majority rule holiday.
Yeah, absolutely. I worked.
You worked.
Yes.
And if you didn't work, what would you have done?
Work. As you mentioned before, the Chick Johnny Challenge is coming up. So
Oh, yes, that thing.
I'm busy.
Oh, my. Okay. That's good.
Yes.
Couple weeks to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Time is flying. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about it. We talked about this on Monday, about whether we are observing this day right. And got out a little bit yesterday and could see that it was a good beach day for a lot of people.
Beach day.
People were out on the water. People were boating.
Which people?
People.
Boating?
People were all over, partying,
It was
going to
nippy
events.
yesterday.
You mean later in the day? When the sun got out, it was. But a little bit later, it got cool.
That doesn't mean the water was nice.
Right. That's what I was thinking. But on Monday we were talking about it, and we're not doing this right, folks. Tell me I'm wrong. What is this supposed to be? Do you know school got let out at 1 o'clock on Monday? And we were just that morning saying, can you imagine? And teachers were messaging us saying how likely they were going to have such a low turnout on Monday because of the holiday on Tuesday.
Right.
And school came out at 1 o'clock anyway. And that meant the traffic was horrible from 1 straight up until the evening.
Wow.
Well,
Good thing I wasn't on the road.
oh, good for you. I was. It wasn't fun. 1 o'clock. Very unusual, right? But it was horrible. And it was wet as well because it had been raining in some parts. And so... people were... Not everybody was supporting the idea of it being, set to maybe the second Monday of the month or the Friday or whatever. But... I mean, how many people are struggling to... Should it be in the middle of the week? That's what I'm saying. Just...
But it's observed on a particular day.
Yeah, so? So what?
What do you mean, so what?
What difference... What about it? It's not like you do anything special. Like I said, if you do something special, I can understand it.
Didn't they do something special?
Huh? Seriously? Okay.
What should a holiday be? It's not a holiday, just a break.
I guess. Well, then fine. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, do it. But we talk about productivity in the country and challenges with it. And you cannot deny that this has affected productivity this week. Just right there in the middle of a week. Nothing
So
got
if a
done.
holiday falls in the middle of the week, we observe the holiday. If Independence Day fell on a Tuesday, we
Independence Day is different, though.
Why is it different? It's a holiday.
And there are things that you do.
It's a national holiday.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. Christmas is different.
But everybody doesn't have to participate in the things that you do.
That's fine.
And everybody don't. They
That's
don't
true.
participate in the things that we
And
do.
they certainly don't. But okay.
If Christmas fell on a Tuesday, we'd observe Christmas.
Yes, absolutely.
Everybody don't observe
You know
Christmas.
fully well that's the least productive week in the
Well,
entire
the whole
year,
week. Yeah.
right?
But
Nothing gets done. Not a thing. But just saying.
we got fewer holidays than some other places.
That's true. I think we said 10 on Monday, but it is 11. It's 11. And of course,
Trinidad got like 20.
but hey, if you disagree, if you think it's fine, keep it going like this, and you're right, and you're fine doing whatever you want to do because it is a free world and democracy.
What's missing from Majority Rule Day that we must
People messaged us
we
to
must
ask,
participate in?
what is it? Someone actually did that, and they said they finally, after I said you can't be serious.
Oh,
it's a
what,
joke.
the holiday
Yeah,
is?
yeah.
Oh.
And they looked it up and they said, oh, okay, I get it. Right, but like, really?
My thing was so many people thought that it was going to be observed on Monday.
Who thought that?
A lot of people.
Nobody thought that.
Where? A lot of people in my circle were like,
What's going on in your
isn't
circle?
it on Monday? Don't say nothing about my circle.
Well, why would that be?
I don't know. They thought that that's what was going to happen.
Did you ask them why they thought that?
No, I didn't ask them
You
why
should
they
ask
thought
them why
that.
they thought that. It makes sense. Why did they think that?
Well, I think they thought that didn't make sense to have Monday, one work day
of
between the
course.
weekend
Right.
and the holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're sensible people, but out of touch. But yes, I'm with them. But yeah, someone's asking why would school be let out early? Why indeed? Why was it let out early? Someone please tell me.
What's like all schools?
All the public schools?
All the public schools.
Yeah. It didn't make any sense. Explain it to me, folks.
C'est la vie.
Is it? All right, so we're going to get into the drama that happened at the one event that they do have to commemorate the day, and whether that makes any sense to anybody, and more in the news. Let's get started. What's in the news? All right, a text here says, school came out at 1 p.m. because there was a national virtual meeting with the Ministry of Education in the schools. Not sure why that particular day was chosen.
Oh, well, there's your answer.
That doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense.
A national what now? Virtual what? Meeting?
So
That's a lot of people.
all this encourages, if people knew that, if parents knew that, this encourages many parents out there to say, well, you might as well not even go to school today,
Yeah.
right? Because it's a holiday tomorrow.
Holiday tomorrow, yeah.
He's coming out half day. What's the point? I have to dirty up a uniform, whatever, right? Why would you do this?
But you know it won't happen next year, right?
It won't, because what, falls on a Wednesday?
Yeah. What are you complaining about?
Okay. And then the year after that, it's, well, unless that's a leap year. What is that? What is,
I don't know. Let me flip through the calendar.
wait, is next year a leap year?
Me? I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't follow them pagan things.
one
No, I
of,
don't.
but it's until it's a Thursday, and then that's another messed up one, right?
Right.
Yeah, next year is a leap year. So it
Let's
won't be
see,
on
the 10th.
It'll be
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's on a Wednesday.
so that means on the
And then,
the 20
and then
on
a Friday.
2025 it'll be okay, yeah, because it'll leave.
So look who complaining. 1 year.
You want it to be on a Wednesday? You want a holiday on a Wednesday?
I don't mind.
So you don't have to do the show.
Did I say that?
I know that's exactly what it is. Ah, boy, folks. Anyway, I don't get it. Already a call? Let's hear what you have to say. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Godly days is Strachan away along with you and Chess, and of course your producer Dwight.
Hi,
Good morning.
We need justice, law, and order in this country. Dwight, this country are not being governed as a mature country at all. The children are falling back already. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
Those guys got those children harnessed. They want this country to be dumbed down. Other thing is, right, the Prime Minister opening up the country to all the Caribbean people to come here.
That's
They're
not true.
already taking
It's not true.
jobs from the
That isn't true.
Arabian people.
That
Go
isn't
ahead, you
true.
just going to say something?
That isn't true. That isn't true. Where are you getting that from?
What that is he opening that for?
What did you hear? Where are you getting that from?
He invited them to come into the country.
To do what?
I don't know.
No, see, don't repeat it if you don't know.
What he
That's
said
not-
there?
That's I don't know where people are getting that from, but that's not what happened at all.
Well, you
But
said that?
continue with what you were saying. But that part isn't true. But go on.
Other thing is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why the churches doesn't pray for all those violence that are happening in various parts of the world?
All the what? Sorry.
Violent people just killing up each other. That doesn't make any sense.
Are you sure they're not?
Well, I'm not. Only one church I've heard praying for the violence that are happening around the world. All the churches that get together and do that, it makes me sick to see how some people are dying. You know, and the thing is, all of them usually goes to these or those international conventions.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody just killing up each other for power. That's indecent.
Well, that's the human way. But yes, it's. Thank you very much. We've been like that from the beginning. But you're right. It is horrible, and I'm sure people are praying, and you don't need the church to do it. Pray that it stops, that people get some sense and try to work things out peacefully. But we've had centuries of this sort of behavior, and it doesn't seem, even with technology and lessons from history that we are learning, the human race continues to make the same idiotic mistakes over and over.
And the Bible suggests we'll be like this until the end.
Yeah, clearly. But I'm sure people are praying, and again, if your church isn't doing it, doesn't mean that you can't. So yeah, okay. Let's get your messages in before we get into what happened yesterday at Majority Rule Day, the special ecumenical service. This person says here, we read that one already about why school came out. Happy Wednesday. I see all Majority Rule Day is as idolized worship. Okay. Mm-hmm. This one says, it seems as though they put special interest in these breaks from school rather than putting in more time to teach our children. Yet they're making noise for more pay, days off. This foolishness has to stop. Now you're talking about a couple different things there, right? So, I mean, the teachers don't decide when to have a holiday or a day off or whatever, right? And so it's a little, but sure. They go on to say this is why the D average can't improve. Look at this thing. No D average, but bad grades all around. Yes, can't improve, and the children are not getting proper education because these teachers have gotten too many half days and days off from school. Don't blame the teachers for that. Don't blame the teachers. But okay. Okay, these are messages for me, but not to be read on air clearly. And this one says it was done so the kids got at least half a day of learning before teachers had to meet and learn about a new system for them to use. If they took the entire day, you guys would complain. If they had to do it on the weekends, you would not want them to be paid to do so. So it was done that way. I would question why the new system why the new system now to cut into exam training and class time rather than during the summer. But hey, we love the same old dysfunction from these MPs. I like to blame MPs for stuff, but I don't think it's the MPs for this one. But the system, the ministry, sure. We would complain if they did it on weekends. We would. They would need to be. They're already paid. They're paid. But I hear you. Anyway, so it's just going to be the same old from it, right? That's just how it is. And what can you do? Yeah, sure. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Jessica.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Dwight, me also, I thought the holiday was on a Monday. That's because I missed the date on the radio. I left at Monday instead of Tuesday for the 10th. But also Monday when I saw the schools came out at 1 o'clock, there was a lot of rain. So I thought maybe more of the schools are flooded. But that's what I thought the reason that it came out early.
Well, if that's when we let schools out because of flooding, they might as well never meet.
Flooding you can't really move around like that. So maybe I thought that was, the reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There was a lot of rain that day.
So why did you think it was Monday was going to be the holiday? Because you were looking at the wrong calendar?
I look at the right calendar but the wrong date.
Ah, okay.
When I look at the 10th, I thought I look at Tuesday I look at Monday rather than Tuesday. That's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So do you think it should be set as the second Monday?
Yes, I think so. Because the middle of the week is sort of odd, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think it throws a lot of things off.
It certainly does.
Yeah, man, offset you,
Because yesterday felt like Saturday to me.
Yeah, that's right.
We're all lucky I'm here today. But yeah,
right.
Okay.
And I hope they look at that change in the time change too, Dwight. Because a couple of weeks, the time changes. A couple of months.
Oh, we won't do it unless the U.S. does it. Sadly.
Okay, yeah.
Sadly.
Okay, but y'all have a good day.
You too. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Just not independent.
Well, I had Monday off, so
good for you.
thanks.
But you had to work yesterday.
And Sunday.
Oh my. Well. Oh boy. One more call before we get into what happened in the graveyard. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, morning, Dwight.
All right. Good morning.
And Happy New Year to you and to I think that's Chester.
Yes, good
It
morning.
is.
Happy New
Good
Year.
morning, sir. Gentlemen. Yesterday, I attended the service. And, I would like to give a shout out or kudos to Dr. Michael Darville, the Minister of Health and Wellness, for his effort and how he sprung into action with Reverend C.B. Moss. Dwight, that made me feel proud as being a Bahamian to see that people in this country still care.
Well, he's a doctor.
Right, that's right. And the thing about it, we have a saying, sometimes we say that you're in the right place at the wrong time, but yesterday, Dr. Michael Darville was in the right place at the right time. And Dwight, I hear you speaking this morning. It's called emancipation or majority rule, but, Dwight, in reality of it, why is it that the majority of the people in this country, the black people, killing up, harming one another, Dwight? I don't understand it. We live in a country, there's so much of goodness in this country. If the majority of people, which are black people, could come together as one and forgive. We starting this year off with, like last year. Why? And Dwight, to you and Straw, to you and Chester, with everyone in this country, no disrespect, but only the black people keeping one another down, Dwight. Only the black people killing one another. When you report on the news, another black brother kill another black brother. For what? And we're supposed to be the majority. The human people in this country, just the only place I have that I call home. I don't know how some of y'all take it, but I take this as paradise. And I want everyone in this country this morning to declare that we're going to put down the guns, we're going to put down the bribes or whatever we have amongst each other and live as one, man. We have a country, and it's so nice. The country is so nice. So only a few people, reaping havoc on the country, Mr. Strong. Only a few people, and it's the same cycle of people, over and over and over and over and over and over. But when the brother or sister come down from south, and they black, they live together. But we can't live together in our own country. But we get mad when the next man and woman come in the country and live. Wow. Dwight Strong, have a blessed day.
All right,
have a blessed day. You and
Chester. Thank you very much. Yeah. It is crazy what's happening out there. Okay. Yeah. So he did mention it, and we told you about it earlier. Reverend C.B. Moss in the hospital now after collapsing at the Majority Rule Day ecumenical service yesterday. And we are praying for him and hoping that everything work out for him.
Makes a recovery.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's my boy.
Yeah. CB Moss is a good guy. Okay, so you probably heard about it by now. This certainly made the rounds yesterday. What happened at the service, after the service in the graveyard near the mausoleum for Sir Lyndon Pinling, the country's first prime minister. Dame Marguerite, his widow and former governor general, hitting out at the PLP, suggesting that the party is using Pinling's legacy selfishly. Take a listen to what she said yesterday.
Because I'm feeling very, very something today. I don't like what I see. Because nothing happened until Pinling came on the scene. And I thank you for coming out today, but the leadership was so excited, they forgot I existed. But I just want to let you know I'm alive, doing well, have sound mind, and in good health. I'm waiting for all that is going to take place because I do not like it, and I'm sorry, Mr. Mitchell. I'm sorry. I cannot contain it any longer because you're using this as a stepping stone, and I do not appreciate it.
Wow. We still love Pinling, and he's a great man.
I should hope so.
We do love him.
Because we're standing on his shoulders, and the other man who fought with him in the trenches. When the House of Assembly was dissolved in 1966, Pinling was in London fighting the PLP's battle. When nomination day came, Pinling wasn't even in the country to be nominated. I had documents prepared in case the magistrate decided not to accept his name in his absence. And I was ready with Cecil Wallace Whitfield, who was the then chairman of this party, who took me down to South Andros. But thanks be to God, the magistrate said it was okay, they would accept him in his absence. And I come here today in respect out of the work that my husband has done, along with his other fellow workers in this country. And I don't want anyone to use this to play him cheap, because I will not stand for it. I'm sorry, Mr. Prime Minister, I promise you I was going to behave. But I think you all should know who I am by now. And you owe me an apology, and I expect, Mr. Chairman, right now.
We love you. We love you, Miss Pinling. And we love your husband. May his soul rest in eternal peace.
Okay, Dame Marguerite Pinling, former Governor General, speaking yesterday. Do you know what that was about?
I don't know. Is that particular ceremonial thing about the PLP? Or is it about the country in general?
This is part of the problem, right? Someone yesterday wished me a happy PLP day. And I'm like, you need to stop. You need to stop. But this is very bizarre. And you're right. So this is the one thing that we do to mark this day. And it is extremely political and personality driven, it seems. And now folks are getting upset at the bizarre things as well. I don't know what's happening. I don't understand it. Can anyone explain it? What's going on? Where's the disrespect? I mean, should it not be there? Is that what she's saying? That this every year, this is the only time you remember and come out there? I don't know what's going on.
I understand. As I understood it from what I was told, because it was bizarre and people were like, what was that about? Was that she wasn't invited to speak?
She wasn't?
No.
I mean, what are we talk about? But, okay. Boy. Okay, so that's happening. Every morning, Minister Mitchell, who's also the PLP chairman and also an MP, a lot of things.
And
But the
also
issues.
the top international man of mystery.
Okay. Every morning issues a voice note between 3:30 and 4 or something. And
Apparently it's not every morning.
oh, you sure?
Apparently. I don't know.
Oh, I get it every day.
Oh, okay. So it's every morning.
It seems so.
Oh, okay.
And so he issued his usual this morning, and there was no. He talked about the service, but he didn't mention this until 3 minutes in. And this is what he said 3 minutes in.
Well, God bless you. God bless the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I thank again all those who showed up on Majority Rule Day, Dame Marguerite Pinling, Prime Minister Christie, opposition MPs. We had a great celebration. Don't mind all this reports about the noise and what went on at that service in the cemetery. You know, I'm a big grown man, and I keep telling people, one hand, don't clap. One hand, can't clap. On this day, the day after Majority Rule Day, it's PLP all the way.
Huh?
Like I said, international man of mystery.
Okay, I'm confused. This is what happens when you have a Tuesday holiday, folks. Everybody goes crazy. Everybody goes crazy. Okay, if you can understand and explain it to us, give us a call, please. 325-4316.
Please tie the one hand don't clap reference into what happened.
I could make my one hand clap.
Ooh, wait, look at
What?
you.
You can't do that?
All skilled.
It's not very loud, but, you know. You can't do that, Chester?
Well, then it's not considered a clap then. Your decibel level's too low. So, seriously, what?
Oh, gosh.
What?
I don't understand anything.
And then why does he say don't mind the noise? Why? Why not?
This is bizarre. Head scratching.
Almost as if it didn't happen.
Well, we also don't understand what it was that happened. I don't know anything. And his statement is more confusing than what was said. Caller, what say you? Can you explain it to us? What's going on here?
Yes, I can, Dwight. Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Chester.
Good morning.
As a matter of fact, Dwight Chester was halfway there. But
Yeah?
I ain't sure he realized he was halfway there.
Okay.
Yeah. See, what you got to remember, Dame Margaret Finland is exactly what she says she was. She's the wife of the first prime minister who led this country into independence and so forth, so forth, so forth, so forth. And since Sir Lyndon Finland's death, it seems as if they pushed the father of this nation basically on the back burners.
Really?
Now, his memory is only being used when something like that, because if the FNM was in power, they probably wouldn't even been in that graveyard yesterday. As a matter of fact, this starts from the Free National Movement.
You sure?
The other day when they was in power, they had some type of ball or something, and Mrs. Pinland wasn't even invited. You see, you got to listen to the words what she's saying. She done had enough of this foolishness. Her and husband are being stepped on and used. And yesterday, she may have been invited, but what she is saying is she should have taken a more active part in that ceremony, saying that is majority rule. Finland ushered in all of that, blah, 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 braze, braze, braze. When it comes to Fred Mitchell, them just don't learn. Brilliant fella, but he don't learn. I spoke to Fred Mitchell at length in Abaco about when they was out of power. Fred, when you get back in there, respect the Bahamian people. But you hear him with his pompous attitude again, with them anyway. I hope Foxer don't let him back in there. Thanks for taking my call.
Wow. Okay. Oh, boy. All right. So people messaging saying that apparently she was invited last minute. She almost didn't get invited. Okay.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
that's different.
All right. Okay. So what now? What's supposed? What about it?
She
What
says
now?
stop. Invite her to stuff. Without her intervention, there would have been no prime minister.
Is this important? What's happening? Why are we? Boy. And then, so the caller was saying something interesting. So they barely remember. So what's supposed to happen? What, every day there's supposed to be something? You're supposed to have a service? You're supposed to have a tribute?
Also, they do this every year. Why?
But,
so the suggestion that it doesn't happen under an F&M government.
I think they do every year. You're right. Yeah. But what would be more fitting? What are you suggesting? What's supposed to happen? And again, as you asked, is it just a PLP thing? Is it a Lyndon Pinling thing? Is this what majority rule is? Just that? Or why the graveyard at all? What? I'm confused. This is what this holiday is. This is the best way to observe this, to commemorate this very important day.
I don't know.
Okay, let's take a break. When we come back, we are going to dive into your comments on this, a lot of text messages, and we'll take more of your calls. Let's hear what you have to say about it. We're going to be right back. This is Morning Blend on a Wednesday. It is Wednesday. It feels like a Monday. Or, no? Doesn't feel like a Monday? What does it feel like to you? Not a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday.
Stop it. Anyway.
When you send me text messages early in the morning, it's a Wednesday.
That means it's Wednesday? Okay, well, we'll see. We'll be back, folks. This is Morning Blend on Garden Radio 96.9.
Come on! I tell you, these vehement people that go crazy during Christmas time, jungle new time, you know what I'm saying? Woo! Check this out. Around Christmas time, these tourists that come to Nassau, because the jungle new music make them come back for more. They love the Bahamian people, they're so nice and so sweet. But on that jungle new morning, they just get so crazy. They got little drum beating high, big drum beating lows, marching in the street, ripping up all their clothes. Cowbell, every shaking, blowing whistle and horns. They jumping and shaking naked as they born. They say that Bahamians go crazy, Bahamians get fool. On Boxing Day morning, they just lose all they cool. Bahamians go crazy.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
It's time for Morning Blend Traffic, brought to you by RBC. RBC's mortgage specialists can provide helpful solutions to make your dream home a reality. In your real-time traffic at this hour, here's what we're seeing. We've got some heavy traffic as usual on Mile Butler Highway from well south of the Fire Trail roundabout all the way up to the Tonic Williams-Darling Highway roundabout. That's in northbound lanes there. Traffic back to Belong Fire Trail as well, east and westbound. Glasson Road also seeing issues from just north of Fire Trail, heavy traffic to the JFK Drive roundabout. Meanwhile, on Tonic Williams-Darling Highway, we're seeing some traffic eastbound and westbound to the roundabout with Milo Butler Highway as well. Carmichael Road westbound seeing some heavy traffic, a long line out to Coral Harbor Road. And Blue Hill Road also seeing heavy traffic near St. Vincent Road, near Carmichael Road, and north of Soldier Road as you head toward the Independence Drive roundabout. Independence Drive, building traffic west and eastbound this morning so far. East Street's going to be congested for you as well as some building traffic northbound, especially north of Sapodilla Boulevard up to Robinson Road, and heavy traffic on Eastern Road, just east of Fox Hill Road to about Johnson Road, and Prince Charles Drive westbound near Elizabeth Estates, near Fox Hill Road, near Beatrice Avenue, and as you make your way through to Robinson Road, just west of Soldier. Soldier Road's busy as well, northbound, heading to the intersection with Wolf, Bernard, and Village Road. Those are your hot spots right now. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert, brought to you by RBC. Visit rbc.com/take 60 seconds to connect with an RBC mortgage specialist. And we've got another check of your weather for this morning, brought to you by John West Shoes. We've got high pressure that remains a dominant weather feature across the northwest Bahamas, while a weak trough supports pockets of unsettled weather across portions of the central and southeast Bahamas. Boaters should be alert for possible waterspout activity. Beachgoers should exercise caution due to the risk of rip currents in the central and southeast Bahamas. For all areas today, forecast calling for partly mostly sunny and warm conditions with a few scattered showers and the chance of isolated thunderstorms, mainly across the central and southeastern islands. Fair and cool tonight. Smallcraft caution will come into effect by this evening for the central and southeast Bahamas. Smallcraft operators should be alert for gusty winds and higher seas in or near heavy showers or thunderstorms. Temperatures today getting up to around 81 Fahrenheit, 27 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 61 Fahrenheit, 16 Celsius. In your extended outlook, high pressure will continue across the area before retreating eastwards ahead of a strong cold front that's expected to enter the northwest Bahamas late Friday, early Saturday. That's going to usher in a nice cool down, some of the coolest temperatures we've seen for the year, or for the past few months actually, along with hazardous marine conditions for the weekend. Beachgoers being urged to enter the waters or not to enter the water, and small craft operators should remain in port this weekend. So for Thursday, ahead of all of that, we're looking at mostly fair and mild conditions across the area, with a few isolated showers and breezy conditions across the southeast Bahamas. Friday, variably cloudy and very warm with a few scattered showers and the chance of isolated thunderstorms. That is your Morning Blend weather check, brought to you by John West Shoes. Nassau. John West is here to put shoes on your feet. They've got your family's feet covered for every occasion. Check out the variety of women's sandals and slippers, heels and working shoes, men's sneakers and safety boots available. And kids, don't forget to check out the boys' boat shoes, girls' sandals, and school shoes. John West Shoes now open in the Carmichael City Shopping Center behind Wendy's. Call them at 820-9715. Let John West put shoes on your feet.
RBC believes your journey to home ownership is unique, whether it's your first home, equity on an existing home, or a new home. So your mortgage financing should also reflect your individual needs. That is why at RBC, we have dedicated mortgage specialists that provide sound advice and helpful solutions to make your dream home a reality. Best of all, the RBC mortgage team is mobile, flexible, and will meet you almost anywhere. Visit rbc.com/take 60 seconds to connect with a mortgage specialist. Reimagine how you bank with RBC.
What if I told you that the future is here? That is not some magical door we walk through, but a place we create. It's home. It's a place where you can download a 2-hour movie in seconds and stay connected to loved ones even when traveling far from home. Where internet moves at lightning speeds, smoother and more reliable than anything you've ever seen. This future-proof technology can take you to worlds that you can only imagine. The future is here. The future is home. The future is Alive Fiber.
Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express Plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Technology serves to make our lives better, so why not your business too? At Custom Computers, we've been maintaining our knowledge and relationships with top tech companies since 1987 and carry only the most trusted brands like Apple, Microsoft, HP, and more. No company has helped more businesses build reliable IT systems than Custom Computers. You name it, we've done it. Call 396-1101 to talk to any of our business experts. Find trust in your tech. Count on Custom Computers.
Florida Auto Parts can deliver all the auto parts your car will ever need, direct from the USA and from around the world. Florida Auto Parts provides fast delivery on auto parts, and we ship throughout the Bahamas, genuine or aftermarket, new or used, and all for the best price. Call Florida Auto Parts Trusted Parts Rep on WhatsApp at 1-786-772-8777 to save on your next auto parts purchase. Florida Auto Parts, the right parts at the right price.
Banquet fidelity, it's good for you and me. It means a lot to own a lot in paradise. We have beautiful islands for you to choose. Come and get advice to live in paradise. Lot loans with fidelity, we're good for you.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
The sun comes up with a burning glow, shines down on paradise below. Talking about the Bahamas, you know, our beautiful archipelago. Now go, brag about we beauty. Tell them we friendly. Oh, tell them we proud of we country. Tell them they could come see. Then say I'm proud to be a Bahamian. Proud to be a Bahamian. Proud to be a Bahamian, yes. God gave this land to me. Onward, upward together, boasting our rich culture, inspiring our young and old with perseverance.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards on this Wednesday morning. I
almost forgot my name again.
Yeah, I forgot the day.
Oh, is that what it is?
I forgot the year. But yeah, we're talking about Majority Rule Day and what happened yesterday at the mausoleum for Sir Lyndon Pindling, and the comments from former Governor General Dame Marguerite Pindling, who was accusing the PLP of using her husband's memory when it's convenient. And she said she was very angry about it, and we're trying to figure out what she was angry about. But some folks do get it. They're telling us about it, and they say that she was almost forgotten. She was barely invited to the event yesterday. I don't know if that is true, but that's not nice, I'm sure. So we're getting a lot of your messages about it. Let's take this call and we'll get to the rest of the messages. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, Dwight, Chester, sorry to call back, but let me clarify something that I said about the last administration not inviting Dame Marguerite. It was during the COVID when Dr. Ministers had a big indoor independence celebration. Dame Marguerite was not given an invitation. I'm sure you remember that now that I clarify exactly what I mean. That when I say they basically using her or overlooking her, and that's unacceptable. Thanks for taking the call.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Some text messages. This person says here, I have a serious question. How would a few thousand of us go about seceding from the sinking ship, and establishing a new government on one of our islands? Okay, do we write the king, the who, and get enough signatures? That's not how it works, no. Or petition the Privy Council. I can't take 50 more years of excuses for where we are and don't want to change this current system. Well, it's not how it works. Maybe that's how it worked for the folks in the 1400s and 1500s. They could ask the king for an island, and if they were a good standing with the king or queen, they could get the island, sure. But not today. That would be a problem and possibly an act of war. But I don't know. There are better ways. There's got to be better ways to deal with that, to do things. Yeah. So
Could maybe petition Spanish Wales to move there. They're almost separated.
Oh, yeah? Generally, what people do is they form a gated community, and then they just go there.
But you have to get rich first.
Oh, ask Albany how they did it. They could give you some pointers, I'm sure. This person says, I really don't, it doesn't really matter to me which day the holiday falls on because I work on holidays. I only get paid. I only want to get paid. They want the double time. Okay.
There you go. How about that?
Round here, going to lay wreaths on other people's graves and don't do it for their own deceased relatives. Oh,
Cool.
Oh, Lord.
Wow.
My goodness gracious.
They forget about Grammy in the cemetery.
Don't even know which one.
That's true.
That says a lot. That says a lot, Texter. That really does. Boy. This person says, I'm deeply saddened by what transpired at the official ceremony for our new holiday majority rule. I am even more saddened that I feel the need to declare that I am not affiliated with the PLP. However, I am a nationalist first and foremost. There is so much to unpack in what happened, but I will address from the perspective of a missed opportunity for an elected official. Sitting member of Parliament, cabinet minister, and chairman of the governing party to demonstrate positive conflict resolution skills and respect in that matter. In that moment, for the wife of the father of our nation, former Governor General, and someone senior to him by simply apologizing and leave it at that, or simply not to comment at all instead of offering comments that were less respectful in the absence of an apology. I am ashamed and did not find any humor in any of it. Lord help us. Oh boy. Okay.
You can't be a nationalist in this country.
No?
Yeah. They expect you to have a side and to toe that line.
Okay. This person says, I get it. They invited her at the last minute, considering that Pinling did play an important role. That is an insult.
You heard what she said. There would be no Lyndon Pinling if she hadn't intervened.
So she deserves credit as well.
Yep.
Yeah. This one says, yes, it seems she was left off the program and only got an invite a day or so before the event. She said she did not say the PLP was using the occasion as a stepping stone, but that Mitchell is using it as a stepping stone. Okay.
I don't know what stepping stone that would be. Step into what?
And so people getting deep here, bringing up all kinds of stuff. And oh boy, so this is really very political.
When she says, I don't like where this is going, I wonder what she's talking about.
People talking about her daughter not getting a nomination and who blocked that, and that we need to read deeper into the tea leaves. So this is really just like what people are saying, right?
Tea leaves, huh? Are they suggesting some China thing?
No.
Okay.
No, why would you go there?
You know, because conspiracy theories abound.
Oh, okay. But it is all about personality and politics.
That's it.
And
That's
we
what it's
need,
about.
in order for people to take this seriously, to get away from that, to really understand the importance of this day. When will we get it? Let's go to the news. We'll be back. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
They had PLP leaders accusing them of just using her husband's legacy for political propaganda and demanding an immediate...
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for your smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us 422-4796. On the Guardian Radio text line, powered by BTC, 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. And at 8:19, time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. Here's what's happening. We've got high pressure that's going to remain the dominant weather feature across the northwest Bahamas, while a weak trough supports pockets of unsettled weather across portions of the central and southeastern islands. Boaters should be alert for possible water spout activity, and beachgoers should exercise caution due to the risk of rip currents in the central and southeast Bahamas. Your forecast for today for all areas: partly to mostly sunny and warm with a few scattered showers and the chance of isolated thunderstorms, mainly across the central and southeast Bahamas, turning fair and cool tonight. Small craft caution will come into effect by this evening for the central and southeast Bahamas. Small craft operators should also be alert for gusty winds and higher seas in or near heavy showers or thunderstorms. Temperatures today getting up to around 81 Fahrenheit, 27 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 61 Fahrenheit, 16 Celsius. In your extended outlook, high pressure will persist across the area before retreating eastwards ahead of a strong cold front that's expected to enter the northwest Bahamas late Friday, early Saturday, and usher in a nice cool down, along with hazardous marine conditions for the weekend. Beachgoers are urged not to enter the water, and small craft operators should remain in port this weekend. So for Thursday, tomorrow, mostly fair and mild across most areas, but expect a few isolated showers and breezy conditions across the southeast Bahamas. Friday, variable cloudiness and very warm conditions with a few scattered showers and the chance of isolated thunderstorms. That's your Morning Blend weather check, brought to you by Bahamas First. Visit firstonlineinsurance.com and select a Bahamas First agent to purchase, pay, or renew your car or home insurance 100% online, or just stop by any Bahamas First agent. Bahamas First, celebrating 40 years as the Bahamas' first general insurance company. What's first for you comes first for us. And at 8:22, time for another check of your traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC. RBC's mortgage specialists can provide helpful solutions to make your dream home a reality. In your real-time traffic this morning, it's not looking pretty out there, folks. We have got a number of issues all over the island, and you're going to need a lot of patience this morning. Your hottest spots, Milo Butler Highway as usual. Heavy traffic well south of Fire Trail all the way up to Tonic Williams Darling Highway, and traffic is backed up along Fire Trail westbound and eastbound as well this morning. Further up along Milo Butler Highway, you're going to see some traffic at the six-legged roundabout, multiple directions, northbound, eastbound on John F. Kennedy Drive, southbound on New Providence Highway as well. Further west, we've got Carmichael Road seeing heavy traffic out to Coral Harbor Road. And Carmichael eastbound to Blue Hill Road, also seeing heavy traffic there. And Blue Hill's busy for you from St. Vincent all the way up to Independence Drive, the roundabout, especially from Soldier Road up to the roundabout. Independence Drive backed up in both directions. Pockets along Soldier Road, especially near Windsor Place. And East Street from Sapodilla Boulevard up to the roundabout with East-West Highway and Independence Drive, and even through on the way to Robinson Road. Then we've got Prince Charles Drive, a number of hot spots there for you, near Elizabeth Estates, near Fox Hill Road, near Beatrice Avenue. And on the way to Soldier Road, as Prince Charles becomes Robinson Road, you're just going to see that heavy traffic there. Soldier Road northbound through to the intersection with Wolf and Village. And Eastern Road from Fox Hill to about Johnson Road westbound there. Mackey Street seeing some hot spots, some congestion in a number of areas as well. So you're going to need your patience, as we said, also along West Bay Street eastbound to Saunders Beach, the roundabout with New Providence Highway, and through to Arawak Key. Good luck out there. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert, brought to you by RBC. Visit rbc.com/take 60 seconds to connect with an RBC mortgage specialist.
RBC believes your journey to home ownership is unique, whether it's your first home, equity on an existing home, or a new home. So your mortgage financing should also reflect your individual needs. That is why at RBC, we have dedicated mortgage specialists that provide sound advice and helpful solutions to make your dream home a reality. Best of all, the RBC mortgage team is mobile, flexible, and will meet you almost anywhere. Visit rbc.com/take 60 seconds to connect with a mortgage specialist. Reimagine how you bank with RBC.
At Wendy's, we are different. We don't just use beef. It's fresh, never frozen. Our burgers are square because we never cut corners. Served hot off the grill with fresh lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and American cheese. We believe in fast food done right. Always serving fresh, never frozen beef. Order a hot, juicy Dave single, double, or triple. Made with fresh, never frozen beef. Now only at Wendy's. Different inside and out.
Fidelity is concerned about your financial health as much as we're concerned about your physical health. We have free online banking, helpful management staff. Come and start your relationship today. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Earning zero interest on your savings at the bank? With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
Is your 2023 goal to move into your own home? Well, future homeowner, enjoy another payday. Build or buy a home with financing from CIBC First Caribbean, and you'll receive cash back every month for 1 year. A home is one of your greatest investments, so secure one soon. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/homeowners payday for more info. Offer valid from January 9 through to March 31, 2023. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
I don't go in water, I just go to fight with somebody's daughter. I like to the love. Yeah. You should know I'm a Bahamian from the Bahamas. It's the place you vacation. Slam domino every occasion. If I did it over, I wouldn't change it. 'Cause this is what I love. Oh, that's what I
We are back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards. Coming up in a few minutes, we're scheduled to talk with the GHS Alumni Association. And they're having the Phoenix Awards in a few days. We'll get some details about that coming up. And we have a lot to talk about in business news as well. Interesting comments from Minister Fred Mitchell about BTC, and he's raising some interesting questions. And we are wondering if they are appropriate questions for him and not for some other people. But we'll get into all of that and more coming up. So a lot more to get to. But we are talking about what happened yesterday at the majority rule ecumenical service yesterday and the controversy that's arisen out of that. And Dame Marguerite speaking out, saying that Mitchell and the PLP are using former Prime Minister Lyndon Pilling's legacy selfishly, and we're trying to understand that. And then also the controversy that's arisen now with the response to that from Fred Mitchell and others. So getting your reaction to it, and a lot of your text messages are here for us to get through. You can text us 422-4796 or call in 325-4316 or tweet us at morningblend969 or Facebook, facebook.com/morningblend969.
pride gets us in trouble.
Now, whose pride here? Whose pride? Or just everybody's pride?
Especially those in government.
Mm-hmm.
Gets them in trouble every time.
Yeah.
They say things because they have power and some station that they think makes them. I don't know what they think it makes them.
Yeah.
Not human anymore, clearly.
Oh boy, that's rough. Okay.
But a little bit above everyone else, right?
Yikes.
No, it got messy.
Yeah. All right, well, listen to this text message. This is exactly the issue. Majority rule has very much become PLP Day for, as someone said to me earlier. Why was there a ceremony at Sir Lyndon's graveside? Why not have it at a park and honor all past and present who worked to ensure that we had majority rule? I mean, we didn't get economic rule, but that's another topic. Clearly, Lady Pinning, or Dame Marguerite actually, is unhappy, and whatever slight happened yesterday was her tipping point. It is unfortunate that whatever happened or has been happening, she's not been pleased with, that became the focus of yesterday. And the report is inaccurate. Fred Mitchell gave no apology. Anytime you lead an apology with if, it is not an apology. Okay. Another message here. This Dame Marguerite issue is a growing issue of disrespect within the inner circles of politics. Not right for Fred Mitchell to call her old, though, but she told them off in public. Good for her. Yikes. Again. Another one says, so I'm confused. Please help me understand. Dwight, explain to me again. What is Majority Rule Day all about? Are they saying that every year we are supposed to celebrate the first Prime Minister? I don't get it. Chester, do you get it?
I thought the celebration of the first Prime Minister was a private thing. The things that happened before that, maybe.
You mean on Dame Marguerite's part? Or
no, for the day.
That was right, because there was a service.
Yes.
There was a service, and Dame Marguerite goes every year, it seems. But how that became a big spectacle, I don't know.
Right.
But, well, this person says there, Mitchell is basically saying that Dame Marguerite got her 1 minute fame off. What now? What? Who's saying that? How? And that he continues to dismiss her and her family. Did he? Really? Is he? I don't know. I don't think that's what he's doing. Anyway, I think there are a lot. Okay, more of that than the nomination issue.
Is that what he meant by one hand on can't clap?
I don't understand it.
There was more than one person to celebrate. I don't know.
Oh, perhaps.
Well, they were only at one person's grave.
Yikes. The MC started off his remarks saying PLP all the way. Doing the welcome, they initially didn't recognize her until he was reminded at the last second. She said the modern PLP was taking the credit for what the old PLP did and just using this event as their stepping stone, no acknowledgement of others who were part of the occasion.
You mean they shut her out of the protocols being established?
Wow. Majority Rule was not only about Pinling, but when the PLP talk about Pinling, the FNM gets upset. What the FNM want is hypocritical. It is hypocritical how some people are siding with Lady Pinling, Dame Marguerite, folks. But when the focus goes only on Sir Lyndon, those same people complain for more to be recognized. You all not getting it. If you want your titles, use the right ones, folks. Use the right ones. She's no longer Lady Pinling. She's Dame Marguerite. That's much higher.
Superseded.
That's right. That is a much higher title. Let's do it right. Come on. Or don't do them at all. Dame Marguerite is acting as if every time Majority Rule Day is celebrated, the Pinlings should be the center of attention. It was more than Sir Lyndon Pinling that made Majority Rule Day possible. The people of the Bahamas that voted the other MPs, and let's not forget Fox and Brennan. Dame Marguerite needs to sit small and stop acting like only the Pinlings made things happen. So what if she didn't get an invite? Okay, so again, it's getting clearer that wasn't the issue. That it wasn't about an invite, right? From what we're seeing now, it was that she was acknowledged at the last minute. This is something she does. Right. We're told all the time, and so especially every year.
So it was a bit of a slight.
Yeah. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Chester.
Hi.
Good morning.
Yeah, that incident in the graveyard yesterday, from my vantage point, understandably, people have to understand. I'm hoping that we would have somewhat of a unifying force as it pertains to majority rule state. It is not just PLP, and this is the general perception that's out here in the public domain. It is all politicized. And I would believe that this holiday or this commemoration would be best served if the politicians then, or those who are part of that committee, would bring everybody together. It's not just Sir Lyndon that's being, what would you call it? Being remembered. As Lady Penland so rightfully said, it's all of them who were part of bringing majority rule into being, and she acknowledged that. So for persons to say that it's just a Sir Lyndon Oscar Penling remembrance, they're sadly mistaken. I'll close on this one point as well. I think it's about time that whoever this committee is that wants to memorize or bring about the meaning or significant meaning to majority rule needs to perhaps consider moving that event to a park like Clifford Park, where everybody, even if you're not a PLP, it's a Bahamian national holiday. Everyone should be able to come out and celebrate the mere fact the majority rule came about. And I think that is what a lot of Bahamians are calling for. There's no unifying force. And, because lastly, if you really notice, there are some who jump up and say PLP all the way. PLP's Sir Lyndon was, and all of his first cabinet was very instrumental in bringing about majority rule day. Let us fix this country. This is what the people are asking for. So I'll close with that. Thanks for taking my call.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
It's quite simple, isn't it? Like he pointed it out, right? It's quite simple.
Mm-hmm.
You just take yourself out of it. That's it. But you know what doesn't let man take themselves out of it? Pride.
Going back to what you said earlier.
So it's always about me and my people and my things.
All right.
They just never let you forget it.
Hey, one final call on this and last few messages before we take a break. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, sir. Good morning to all.
Hi, good morning.
Did majority rule happen in 61? When UBP was elected? Isn't that majority rule?
How?
Because the government is minority, is the minority of the people. It's not the majority of the people.
Oh, God.
If they're elected by the majority of the people, that happened in 61. Is it not right?
No. I don't know why you're doing this, but okay. you know exactly. Okay. Okay. This text here. I mean, does she want us to change the name of the Bahamas to the Penling so that she can be happy? Really? Okay. This person says here, please respectfully enjoy your latter years. Dame Marguerite, you served us well. Let Sir Lyndon Penling rest in peace, please. PLPs. Okay. This is really getting outrageous. Even if she wasn't invited, there is a way to conduct yourself. You do not conduct yourself in the manner that she did at the graveyard. Be diplomatic. What?
Why?
What?
For what?
I still don't understand any of this. This is ridiculous. All of it, right?
It is. This is. And it just got messier.
Yeah. So sad. She has been a woman of elegance and excellence and deserves respect, regardless of who's in power or disappointed. He should apologize and move on. This is Mitchell they're talking about, an opportunity to show the young people of the country how to resolve conflict properly. What is the conflict?
Well, I don't know, but it just got nasty.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, that's not how you handle the situation.
Yeah, okay. If she's claiming partial credit, she's probably right. This is true for all successful people. Nobody gets there by themselves. Could be a parent, a spouse, a significant other, or a friend. Every successful man or woman has some unseen person behind them, backing them. Sometimes that person gets sidelined when the success bug bites. It makes no difference. The individual didn't get there alone. Okay. And okay, there's a lot. I'm not gonna be able to get through all of these, but anyway, so everybody's, like I say, earlier we were talking about it again. What should this day be about? Should it be about that?
Golden Globes?
What?
Oh, no.
The
Okay.
Majority Rule Day.
Majority
What
Rule
now,
Day,
Jester?
right.
What should this day? Should this be what this day is about? No. Politicians doing this stuff?
This is the antithesis of what this day should be about.
Right. Absolutely not. Right? This is not the way it should be. I've told you already many times. Nobody seems to care what I think, but it truly would be the best way to express this day and what it means if we all come together and try and do our part to help tangibly improve the country.
Yeah.
A referendum day every year. I'm going to keep saying it.
Whoa.
What? You didn't know I was going there? Yes, every day on January 10th, since you don't want to make it the second Monday of the month. Let's do that. We've got a lot to fix here. And let us demonstrate what that important day was all about. Every year coming and fixing things once and for all instead of talking about the same old stuff over and over and over and running on.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
You have put it out there. Like today, this is the issue for the next referendum on January 10th upcoming. And you start that education campaign. Get it out there. Make the case for why it needs to be done. The one issue that we want all the people to come together and decide once and for all. And incentivize folks to do it. If you think the turnout is going to be low, if you think people are going to use the opportunity to go to the beach or to travel, incentivize them. I don't know what it would be. Something. But we know we have a lot to fix with the Constitution, with some other laws that we aren't all on the same page on. Let's see what the majority thinks about it.
I like it.
Instead of this, right? Like, we should be talking about the majority voted that we fix this part of the Constitution.
Yeah.
Or that this referendum failed and we aren't going to fix this part of the Constitution. Because the majority have spoken.
Yep.
I can't think of a better way to commemorate this very important day. Maybe you can. I haven't heard anybody say it yet, though. What do you want to do? Have a beach picnic? Or watch people argue in a grave? Anyway, let's take a break. The Government High School. We've got something big happening this weekend. We'll talk about that after the break. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Florida Auto Parts can deliver all the auto parts your car will ever need, direct from the USA and from around the world. Florida Auto Parts provides fast delivery on auto parts, and we ship throughout the Bahamas, genuine or aftermarket, new or used, and all for the best price. Call Florida Auto Parts Trusted Parts Rep on WhatsApp at 1-786-772-8777 to save on your next auto parts purchase. Florida Auto Parts, the right parts at the right price.
Banquet fidelity, it's good for you and me. It means a lot to own a lot in paradise. We have beautiful islands for you to choose. Come and get advice to live in paradise. Lot loans with fidelity, we're good for you.
Technology serves to make our lives better, so why not your business too? At Custom Computers, we've been maintaining our knowledge and relationships with top tech companies since 1987 and carry only the most trusted brands like Apple, Microsoft, HP, and more. No company has helped more businesses build reliable IT systems than Custom Computers. You name it, we've done it. Call 396-1101 to talk to any of our business experts. Find trust in your tech. Count on Custom Computers.
Oh, wow! What's that under the Christmas tree? Up to $1,000 cash back for you and me? 10 lucky customers get a chance to win up to $1,000 cash back this Christmas just for spending $60 and over with their Scotiabank credit card in-store or online. That's up to $1,000 cash back to spend on gifts, gas, groceries, and more this Christmas. Visit bs.scotiabank.com for more information. Promotion ends January 28, 2023. Conditions apply.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
You know I was legal when I come to you. You gave me food, clothes, and protection too. You said don't worry about a thing, just show your loyalty. It's the comfort that you'll bring.
Might have like a sparky color. Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards on this Wednesday morning. And we are going to, you heard people like Sparky always talk about the government high school. The government high school. They've got something big happening this weekend. And it's the Alumni Awards, the Phoenix Awards, slated for January 14th. And we're very pleased to have with us two graduates of the government high school. I've been told to say it with respect and reverence. Our very old Paul Fernander and Vaughn Albury. First time here on Morning Blend.
And it's his birthday.
Whoa, happy birthday, Vaughn.
Yeah, all right.
I was just telling you, welcome. Great to have you with us.
Yes.
First time on Guardian Radio, too?
Yes, I am.
A veteran broadcaster here with us and a great friend.
I came up under him.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He worked in Southerners.
Yeah, so we all have had our experiences with Vaughn Albury, so this is wonderful stuff. Great to have you with us. Now, please tell me the two of you weren't in the same class or the same grade.
We were.
Oh, no. Y'all got anything
done? We
done?
can walk to our classrooms right now from Guardian Radio, the
goodness.
government high school.
Wait, how did this class work with the two of you in it? I don't understand.
Class of 96. He was the head boy.
Not 96, 76.
76. He was the head boy and I was a prefect.
What?
Yeah.
They ran the school.
Oh, my goodness.
We were very privileged to be able to attend the government high school.
Mm-hmm.
We attended government high from 71 to 76,
My goodness.
right here where UB is. And that's where the event is going to be, in the old GHS auditorium, which is now called UB Center for Performing Arts.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Class of 76.
Yes.
That's unbelievable.
It's a little while ago.
That was the year I was born. You all are old guys.
Thankful, very grateful, very grateful.
All is a state of mind.
There you go.
As is the government high school.
Right. Okay. All right. Let's talk about this. So, why you all? When did it move to where it is now? And you were the last year there.
1976.
Okay.
Yes.
So you were the last.
September 1975. Government High stopped being a select grammar school and changed to a comprehensive grammar school, meaning that persons didn't need to take the common entrance to attend Government High School.
Yeah,
that's correct.
Wow. Okay, so this is why there's always the differentiation between Government High School, GHS now, and the Government High.
But let me say for the record, this is Vaughn Albury's view. There's only one government high school.
You're the only person I've ever heard say that.
No, I would say it again. For each, my parents went to government high. My aunt was the first head girl. Vernell Albury Ambrissa was the first head girl. 4 of my mother's siblings went to government high. 4 of my father's siblings went to government high. But still, there's only one government high school. If we believe in education, we're here to empower the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul, do you support that view?
100%.
Yeah? Okay.
And this is why. Okay. No matter when you went to government high, if you took advantage of the education and made something yourself, you went to the government high. Now, if you went to government high and your favorite subject was lunch, and you didn't,
we're very serious.
But there are people who've been there from 1925 to now, who went to school and their favorite subject was lunch.
Oh, boy.
So they can't be around here boasting, I've been to the government high school, and they never took advantage of their education, never did nothing with their lives when they came out of school, never added or committed to the country. No, you can't be boasting you being in the government high school and that's my impression.
It's a state of mind.
Yeah.
Because after 76, when it was moved to Yellow Elder, we have numerous persons who
That's
went to
right.
Government High who are making contributions. Dr. Strachan at the UB, he graduated. He was the head boy at Government High after 1976.
Our very own Pamela Musgrove.
Yes,
that's right.
Yeah.
That's
we have
right.
plenty of people who have done extremely well after 1976. So the older ones want to say that, but that's it. And it's a state of mind for them.
Yeah.
Because of it was a select grammar school and they had to take the common entrance. It was they had to make an effort to get in. Whereas
And
other
I
people,
support that view.
But,
My
whereas-
mother thought like that. Yeah, well, that's not. No.
Another thing too,
This
you had
is
to
our
pay.
country.
Initially, you had to pay to go to Government High. And then you were given a scholarship. So those who had to pay feel like those who were given a scholarship didn't go to the Government High School either.
Yeah.
So every generation is that.
And this is 100 years we're talking about.
Yeah.
100 years in April 27th, 2025. That's many generations of students over the years.
Now, do you think there should be a school like the way it was today, a public school that is like
As
that?
a matter of fact, in 1941, when the Old Scholars Association started, it stopped in around the mid-1960s. When we had our 50th anniversary, Anatole Rogers, who was our principal at the time, her sentiments was that she felt badly that the Old Scholars Association was not around to
advocate
for this for Government High to stay as is,
Right.
as
Government
select
school.
grammar school.
Yes.
And so now that we're getting ready to celebrate our 100th anniversary, which is our centennial celebrations, we are advocating the new alumni, which started in September 2022. We were just registered as a nonprofit September 22. We are advocating that we do bring back the select grammar school because in a lot of countries around the Caribbean, they have select grammar schools. There's nothing wrong with having a select grammar school. I'm of the view that we can't allow the private schools to keep on taking the best out of the public schools by giving them scholarships,
which are subsidized by the Bahamas government.
Many of them
Yeah,
are.
they're all the St. John's, St. Anne's,
St. Andrews,
QC,
Apparently, St. Andrews might not be, but many
No,
of them
yes,
are. I think
yes.
they told me they're not.
Debbie Strachan. What was it? Debbie Ferguson.
Well, we got to confirm that one. Some of them
That's a
don't.
real
Some of
thing.
them don't accept it, but many of them do. And you're right.
Okay, yes.
Many of them do.
Yes.
All right. So we talked about this on the show before, and a lot of people actually, because I suggested that we should do that, or we should have an elite. Well, they didn't like that word, but a school, a public school for
charter
the
school.
best of the
Brightest.
best, right?
Yes.
And many people thought that
Public.
was right.
Keyword.
They thought it was very elitist.
Right. They thought that was going to be
Well, in fact,
segregating everybody.
Mr. Strachan, when the PLP government took over in '67, when GHS was discontinued being a select grammar school, 2 alumni of Government High led that charge. Prime Minister Pinding, Salinden, and A.D. Hanna.
As well as Paul Adley.
As well as Paul, all GHS students in the 40s. But their view was that they had to lift everyone up. Lift everyone up. But in the process, in reality, what they did was brought down the standard of the government high school. And so it's just an ordinary senior high school now. In fact, it's a performing arts school, you know. Over the many administrations in government post-independence, there have been a lot of experiments. All have not been successful. But one thing I know, all the architects of our country, post-independence, their view was that we have to lift the Bahamas up, not specifically the government high school.
Right. Wow. Yeah. Hopefully, this will reignite that conversation. I
If
think
not,
we do need
then
to do
we'll ask them, we'll advocate for them to change the name after the 100th anniversary.
Yeah.
That way it evens out the playing field for everybody. Nobody have to worry about they going to the government high school. They could call it the Arizmanca High School. Or
Anatole. No, we already have one called Anatole.
Right,
Rogers.
Kevin has the thing over here at UB, and so there's a lot of
Kevin
former
Bethel.
headmistresses, I think,
And
that could be given that opportunity to get their name on a high
school
school.
named after them. Yes.
Or persons of caliber in the Bahamas.
Tell us, what was it like going to the school when it was at what UB is now?
It was like a college, actually.
Yeah,
it was like you went to college.
Yeah.
You know, you walk down the street in your royal blue and white, and everybody stand on the side and let you pass. Yes, it was a real thing.
No, you got special status when they saw that royal blue and white. In fact, post in the 60s, they instituted the common entrance exam. And so while we were in primary school, they brought the list around. You chose 3 schools.
Right.
You put your top school. My year, 1971, from T. Gibson Primary, which is, they renamed it now. It's now senior high school, C.R. Walker. 13 of us passed the common entrance exam. 11 chose the government high school. 1 chose St. John's College, and the other, Charmaine Hanna, chose St. Augustine's College. So GHS was the popular choice when we were in primary school.
Yeah, I went to what they call William Sales Primary, Brown and down the road by South Street, and about 18 of us passed.
Yeah.
We had the largest class in 1976.
But listen,
1971, sorry.
Yeah, but also let me just say, in our Family Islanders, they were well represented. Ragged Island is very small. In our class in 1976, more than 11 of them passed the common entrance and came to the government high school. And in those days, parents had to trust their family members to take care of their children to come to Nassau to go to GHS.
So there was a lot of pride. There was this
pride, yes.
value. The value of education was definitely represented in the family.
There is still that pride.
Yeah.
Now, I want you all to believe I was the sharpest tack in the drawer now, but I still do it. I still do it.
And I definitely was not the smartest.
We have some guys who got like 9 GCEs and stuff like that, you know.
William Weeks, our smartest.
Yeah, so they wasn't playing, you know.
Yeah.
But you know what I realized too? Being well-rounded is a plus, not just being able to take exams. And that's what the National High School Diploma is now all about. You can't not just be able to pass an examination, but are you a leader?
Yeah.
What other extracurricular activities are you involved in? Are you involved in your community? We don't want to just produce nerds. We want to produce leaders to build our Bahamas.
Wow. All right, so tell us about the Alumni Association. How long has it been around now? I know you said it was incorporated. You're now a nonprofit.
The Government High School Alumni Association was registered as a nonprofit September 2022. Now, the Old Scholars, Government High Old Scholars Association started in 1941.
No, in the 30s, actually.
No, it was registered.
I got the picture right here.
You have pictures there, but it was started in 1941. This is based on what Ms.
A
Rogers
long time
said.
ago.
I remember what Ms. Rogers said. And it ceased to exist because of inactivity during the 60s. So what happened was last year we decided to start putting a planning committee together to celebrate our centennial celebrations, which is 100 in April 2025. And out of that grouping, it was suggested that we renew the Alumni Association or create an Alumni Association. And that's how it started. That's how it all got around to start. And then when we started the Alumni Association, it was suggested that we started celebrating and recognizing former students because we haven't done it from the 60s, in essence. You know, certain things happen, certain classes would do it, but not as an alumni group. And that's how we came up with having the Phoenix Awards, and we used Phoenix because that was the symbol of Government High at the time. Now, over the years, it's been changed a few times, but it's supposed to be going back to the Phoenix. But it was also called Magic Men at one time. It was also called Countrymen. GHS Country at one time. The actual symbol of Government High School is the Phoenix.
So what were the athletes at Government High? Phoenixes? Or
No.
What was it?
No. When we went to school, it was just GHS.
Okay.
GHS, St. John's.
Yeah.
So none of those.
These things
They
came in the 80s.
Interesting.
When athletics really started taking off to that degree.
Wow.
I think it was never after Carifta. When a lot of them went to those other countries and saw how each school had a motto along with them or a mascot. And that's how it developed.
That's pretty cool.
I want to talk about the honorees for Saturday.
Yes, and this is the first time you're doing this, right?
This
is the inaugural one. Yeah.
Yes. And this we want to continue this beyond this. What the criteria was the persons whose family members, because a number of persons would have passed away over these 100 years. the family members to nominate them. I just got a call, a WhatsApp note this morning from a GHS 78 or 9 graduate. He said, my uncle was Jeffrey Thompson. He should have been nominated too. Yes, he's very much a GHS alumnus and a prodigy, and he was in the first PLP government, in the cabinet of the first PLP government. But these are the persons whom we are celebrating, those who've gone on. The first two of the first 5 students, they are Robert Bailey Jr. and Millicent Bailey Simonet. Their father helped to start the government high school, R.M. Bailey, whom the school is named after. He was a tailor who came from Barbados, but he was very much interested in being an intellect and also spreading education. Also, we cannot forget our former Prime Minister, Sir Lyndon Pinling, Sir Randall Fox, Mr. A.D. Hanna, Cecil Wallace Whitfield, Zoe Cumberbatch Maynard, Ruth Maycock Miller. She was just buried on Friday from Bethel Baptist
Before
Church.
you do that, go on, let me say, she was supposed to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award along with Hugh Sands. But both of them passed during the time coming up to our ceremonies.
Last
So
year.
we had to redesignate them to the next category.
And Hugh Sands was the second headmaster at the government high school. Yeah, and he was also a banker, Barclays Bank. So Ruth Miller, Dr. Cleveland Aeneas, and there are a number of persons receiving the Phoenix Lifetime Award, including Sorville Turnquist, Dame Ivy Dumont, Archbishop Drexel Gomez, Pastor Rex Major, Beryl Sands Campbell, Peter Bethel from BEC, Peter Bethel, Cipriana Bethel Fleischer, his sister Marjorie Davis. Marjorie Davis was our director of education in an independent Bahamas. We want to be, I work with the Ministry of Education. We want to be, this is our 50th year of independence, so we want to talk with some of those persons. Also, I would like to note that we found, we believe, the oldest living alumnus of the government high school. Her name is Coral Taylor, Coral Fox Taylor. She's 100 years old.
101.
No, her birthday is on July 10th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
This year, but she lives in the United States. Her husband was a classmate, I think class of 1937.
Wow.
His name was Reverend John Taylor, an Anglican priest. They lived in the
Oh,
States.
yes, I remember
Coral
that.
Taylor is the sister of Sir Randall Fox.
Right.
And she said out of her household, 4 of them attended the government high school, which was not a cheap thing for a family of Fort Finn Castle, but their parents made that sacrifice. Bill, Sir Randall, Gertrude, Dr. Gertrude Burnside, Gertrude Fox Burnside. Her son's from one family, the architect, Stan Burnside, Julia Burnside. Yes, that's another sister, one of the Fox family. So 4 of them attended the government high school in the 20s and the 30s.
My goodness. Wow.
Yeah, we have a rich history.
Yeah. All
My
these names
parents
you mentioned.
attended. My parents
And he didn't mention all.
But all the names you mentioned just now, everybody
Went to
went to
government high
G.
school.
That's something else.
Yeah.
If you look at the majority rule photo, I think they have circulating. There's A.D. Hanna, there's Sir Lyndon Pinling,
Paul Adderley,
there's Sir Randall
Sylvia
Fox.
Trico. A lot of persons who form the nucleus of management in the Bahamas, particularly in the 60s and the 70s and 80s and beyond, attended the government high school. The government high school trained. Yes.
It's insane.
Right, that photo there you're looking at, that's a
an iconic-
1944 photo.
Yeah. And all in the same class.
All in the same, no, that's the entire school.
The whole school. Okay,
That's
okay,
the whole
okay.
school.
It's
Yeah.
still amazing.
An
they're there
iconic
that time.
photo
Yeah.
because that's who's who of the
You
Bahamas.
said it.
The
Orville
modern-
My eye went straight on 80 Hannah.
80 Hannah. You see his. You can't miss
A.D.
it.
Hanna, Orville Turnquist, Edith Turnquist.
Yeah.
Yes, all of
All
them.
of them were in 1944.
Vernal Adderley. There are a lot of persons who are unknown to the majority of persons, but these are government high school alumni who made such a valuable contribution to our development as a country. And indeed, the country is indebted to students of the government high school for having, we like a meteor. We were a sleepy fishing village before the 60s. But these persons paved the way for us to live the lifestyle we now enjoy, which many others envy.
So for the Phoenix Awards to be this week, January 14th, right after Majority Rule Day, seems to be quite fitting.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, is that by intentional or or just
intentional.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, so how do people be a part of this on January 14th? What do you need to do?
Well, if you want to visit, if you want to come to the event itself, you could go online to tghs.com. That's our website.
You had to put that in there. The T,
of course,
naturally.
It's the Government High School. TGHS.
Would you just say Government High?
Well,
would you?
But to be fair, GHS alumni was taken.
Oh.
Okay.
We're not better than anyone. Let's get that clear. We're not better than anyone.
tghs.com, and you could click on events, and you could purchase your ticket. It's $50, or you could purchase your ticket at the door.
Okay. Wow. And how are tickets looking so far?
We from the person who is responsible for the online purchasing, they explained to us that most persons start buying their tickets on Wednesday and Thursday because they want to be sure they are going when they purchase online.
Yeah.
But we got a lot of calls saying they're going to pay at the door.
A lot of interest.
A lot of interest, yeah. Let me use that
But we're
term.
going to have a successful event.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I'm sure.
We're going to have a successful event.
We should have at least about 300 to 3. Well, the hall can hold 380.
You're doing it again right there at UB, the Performing Arts Center.
The former Government High School auditorium, which has been transformed into the UB's Performing Arts Center.
Yep. And what time?
It starts at 7 o'clock. It's a very short ceremony. It's 7 to 9. We want to be out of there. The temperature is going to be like 64 degrees, so we want people to dress accordingly.
Okay.
We may have a short. We will
yes.
have a very short.
Indoor. The outdoor temperature is going to be cold. That's what you're saying. Right. It's going to be cold this weekend.
Get
right.
out of their
So
car, come inside,
yes,
and then we have a little short, like hors d'oeuvres.
He's a newsman, you know.
Yeah,
He want to give you the temperature.
You
and let
gotta know.
what
Don't
you
come-
want to do.
Some people
Don't come in shorts.
I don't want people coming strapless.
It's going to be cold.
Dress accordingly.
That's right.
You know what I mean? You have to be in. You have to come out your car. You got to go back to your car. I don't want you to be saying, "Oh, it's so cold."
Tell them the dress code again, please.
Well, it's sophisticated casual,
What does that mean?
semi-formal, a suit and a tie, but something. You know,
Dress
accordingly.
Dress up.
Appropriately.
Yeah. Dress up.
Don't come in
We have
short
to make
pants and
events
sandals.
special, you know.
It is the government. high.
No, but it's your mindset too.
Yes.
You coming out of your house, and don't let me look at you and say, "Well, why he or she wearing that?"
Very true.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So let me ask you this: are folks from the government high doing much with government high right now? As in maybe
Well, the
donating
alumni
time
itself.
or
I could tell you, well, most class. What happened before 2022? A lot of classes individually would support causes at government high school. They would go there and take computers or laptops or tablets.
Right.
Many classes have
Many classes
responded
have done
to the
that.
appeal to help the government high school because the physical plan, Paul, I think you ought to tell them, the physical plan of the government high school left a lot to be desired. But I went there on Sunday and I was really impressed at the administration block.
Right. And April 22, the principal there, Pavia Road, she invited me down because we had called to find out what the school was going to do for the 100th celebration. And she said, "Can you come here and look at the school?" So I came, and it was really, I mean, it was in a poor state. And we started putting some calls out to...
Feelers out to...
Calls out to alumni and persons we know in administration, and the government took advantage of our needs, and they renovated the administration block. They built a pavilion for them to have lunch, and they renovated the auditorium. A new air conditioning system is supposed to be placed in during the summer. Glennis Hannah Martin, the minister, has assured us that based on the success of the renovation of the administration block, they will try and renovate every single block. So by 2025, the school will be partially new.
Wow.
So we'll be looking forward to that, and we appreciate that.
Yeah.
Also, the Minister of
Much
Works, as
thanks
Alfred
to-
says, has committed, along with the Minister of Education, to make sure that happens. The Prime Minister and the Minister of Works and the Minister of Education did a tour, and they feel like it's necessary. So we look forward to what is happening from the government. Now, in terms of the alumni, we've requested from most of our alumni to participate in what we call the Government High School Dollars for Scholars promotion. We were trying to attempt to purchase a computer lab for the school, and it was about $70,000. To date, we've raised about $22,000. Also, there's a foundation, the Orville Turnquest Foundation. They donated $15,000 to purchase a television screen, a large one, to put in the auditorium because they're starting a BJC program at the school so that every person that comes to the school at least has to leave Government High with a BJC or more. That is the focus of the new principal. So she has an after-school BJC program. So if anyone comes in grade 10 without a BJC, they go into that after-school program to ensure that they pass at least a few before they leave Government
Excellent.
High.
That's good.
Also, I want to make this appeal
They have a food kitchen
to
as
those
well.
of us who attended the Government High School, and we are among, supposedly, the best and the brightest in the land. Yes, but we got to give back.
Yeah.
So I make this appeal to alumni, past those who attended the Government High School, give back to your school.
Yeah.
Let me just finish this thought. They need help to be able to read. We need to get back in the classroom to help, because the administration and the principal, they would welcome us with open arms. If you want to improve our country, make your contribution. Don't sit back and complain.
Yeah.
A lot of us do that. And don't do anything about the development of our country. We send our children away, many of them stay. But those of us who remain, it's our job to make sure all schools, not just the Government High School, just give back to your school.
Yeah, and I'm glad you we were talking about this because we've been wondering about this. I know folks, and you're with the Ministry of Education, Vaughn, so you can explain it, I guess. But whether it is that simple to donate something to the school, or if you have to go through the ministry to do that.
No, you can donate directly.
Direct to school. Now, if you want to purchase something from America and have it brought in, it's a good thing to touch base with the principal, because a letter has to be written and sent to the Ministry of Education for them to give you exemptions, duty exemption and tax exemption to bring it in. So there's ways to give them whatever you need to give them, but it's good to touch base with the principal before you do it.
Yeah. Okay. I know Paul didn't want to take any calls. We've got one call here. Let's take this
If
call.
you
It
take
might
this
be
call, it has to be related to what we talked about.
Of course, it's going to be. This person has to be somebody who went to the Government High School, I'm sure. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you still there? No. All right. This person. There. Yeah. Here we go again. There we go. Let's take them. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Paul. Good morning, Vaughn. I'm also a past student of the Government High School, at least 1981, and I can tell you, what the Government High School has given a lot of us a very firm ground of education. You know, I am one of those who are a firm believer in assisting the school to get back up to the level where it once was. I visited the school many occasions, and like Paul, or it may be Vaughn, no, but it was Paul. You know, when I walked around, there were certain areas that looked kind of, lackadaisical. But, I believe that if we can inspire each one of us who have benefited from Government High School, we should give back to the school. Let me at this time just say thank you for the historical references to the school. There were some things I learned this morning, such as I didn't know Anatole Rogers was actually a principal there. I came up under the tutelage of Eris Munker, who was a very big mentor to many of us back in 81.
He succeeded her. He succeeded Mrs. Rogers.
Yeah, he ended in 1975 during the transition. And then he left in September 76 to the new school, which was uncompleted at the time.
Yes, it was incomplete.
But they did.
The students went there.
Yeah, and I think they increased the student population to 1,200 or 1,500 from 720 at the time.
The last class that matriculated under the common entrance graduated in 1979, and that was a combined class.
Wow.
And in that class, the 12th grade of that year, 1979, 700 graduates.
Wow.
That was more than when Paul and I graduated. There were only like 600 students in GHS.
In the whole school.
In the whole school, yeah. Yeah, but
that's Form 1 to Form 5.
That's correct.
700.
Yeah, I kind of remember that clearly because I did arrive at Government High at the Government High School in 79.
Okay.
And completed in 81. I'll just like to send the kudos out to those who were very instrumental. Eris Monk, of course. Neville Wisdom, who was our senior master
Very
at that
much
time.
instrumental in the growth of
Very instrumental.
sports program
Yep.
at
He was-
GHS.
He was the man.
He
and,
produced world champions.
There you
World
go.
champions.
And lastly, I'd just like to send shout-outs to Arthur Seymour, who was our senior master
Yes,
at
yes,
that time,
yes,
as
Mr.
well
Seymour.
as Mrs. Reborn.
Yes.
All these
yes,
persons were
yes.
very instrumental in
That's right.
helping to develop us to where we are today. So thanks very much
Yes.
for taking my call, Dwight.
And I thank you for highlighting those persons. There's so many unsung heroes who helped to build our country. And in particular, we're talking about the government high school. I'm glad that you mentioned some of those names. Thank you, caller.
One other one before I go, and Mr. Peter Key, who was very instrumental in bringing about the first navigational, marine navigational course or curriculum for the schools. Very instrumental. I learned a lot from him. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. So all this history, are we documenting this? Is there a book? Is there something we can go and read about this? Because it sounds really fascinating.
Oh, man, that's... I would love a book.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's really too much history.
There is a short history of government high school from 1925 to about 90 to now. Because I've added some information that's going to be included in our souvenir booklet. But there's a few ladies. If you look online, it's Ramble in the something. But they have if you could Google history of government high school, and it's dead up to 75.
Yeah.
And I've added some current history to be included in the souvenir booklet that we have at the event itself. But we're going to publish all of that in our website at www.tghsalumni.com.
Right. tghsalumni.com. All right. And again, really quickly, January 14th, again, where to get the tickets?
Online at tghs.alumni.com. Click on events and you can purchase your tickets. We have a facility there that's been manned by a group of people. We don't have our own direct. You can direct deposit, but we're not using that right now. You could also pay at the door. It's $50 at the door.
Right. Okay. It's going to be a great time.
And I really want to say thanks to Paul, my classmate, and my brother-in-law for him spearheading this drive, because it's beginning to mushroom, and we hope 2025, April 27th, will be a grand occasion.
But it is not Paul.
It's not Paul people and his group of volunteers.
We have an executive board and we have a planning committee. So it's a large group of persons that are doing yeoman work to make this happen. It's not Paul. I just happen to be one of the spokespersons.
And also, this is the interim leadership, but there will be elections for
the executives. The first set of executives will be done in February of this year. We should have nominations early February. We'll have our first general meeting for all those who are paid, who are financial. They'll be able to participate in that and also participate in the voting. So we're looking forward to persons nominating other persons to be a part of this executive board to take this into 2024 and then to 2025 and beyond.
Excellent stuff. Still can't get over the fact that the two of you are in the same grade.
Why not? What was wrong with that?
Can you imagine the teachers what they had to deal with?
Vaughn was not a concern.
Okay, you though.
I was.
Well, we know that. We know that.
I was a concern.
Vaughn Aubrey and Paul Fernando, thank you so much for being here this morning, and congratulations to all the work you're doing. I know the Phoenix Award is going to be great, and good stuff.
Would you like to come?
Hey, we'll talk. The Government High School.
Free ticket for you, man. You want to
come? Thank you very much. Great stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for allowing us to come on and spread this news.
Yeah, anytime. We're going to take a break and be back. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Wednesday, January 11th, 2023. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Chester had to leave us. But this morning, we are going to talk about a number of issues, including some comments from Minister Fred Mitchell about the telecommunications sector. And we're getting a lot of your comments based on our previous conversation about the government high school as well. We'll get to some of those messages a little bit later. And about the education system in the country and the need for real reform. And some of you are reacting to our conversation about Majority Rule Day and what happened yesterday, but also what should be happening, the way we should be observing and commemorating this day going forward. So a lot of that we'll try to get to. But let's begin with the telecommunications sector. And Fred Mitchell has been very vocal about this over the past year or so on what he thinks government's role should be in the direction the sector takes for the future. And we'll get to that in a bit, but I want you to hear what he said in his voice note this morning. That is, well, definitely raised a few eyebrows in this studio, but let's see what you say about it. Take a listen to this. This is in his daily message. This is what he said this morning.
For my most recent stint in opposition to this day, I have been a critic of what is happening in the telecommunications sector. In short, what is happening sucks. We seem to have reverted to the days of the old TDMA system where you cannot connect, you cannot hear what the other party is saying, the calls keep dropping. And now today the video keeps buffering, the roaming doesn't connect when you reach another country. And there is a public complaint voiced in this space, of course, and of course what happens is the company rushes to call and explain and justify, but there's no change in the underlying service. As Hubert Ingram liked to say in the old days, it's going from wuss to wusser. There does seem to be no obvious reason for this. The companies do not want to, or they seem unable to spend the money to upgrade the system. Indeed, the underlying infrastructure seems to be deteriorating and no attention being paid to it. It was clearly a mistake to sell BTC because the company as presently managed does not appear to have the community in which it serves at heart. And neither company ever responds to public relations criticism, no matter how harsh. They ignore and they just keep selling cell phones over cell phones as the service deteriorates. And there's crowding on the network and not enough bandwidth and not enough towers. I was also shocked when I read somewhere one of the companies said that there was no demand for 5G in the Bahamas. And, well, I guess it follows that nothing's going to be done about that. BTC itself seems to have a leadership problem. I think they've had a succession of CEOs, if I'm not mistaken, 3 in the last 2 years. They have fired behemoths of worth and experience, and, well, the list of complaints about unresponsiveness goes on and on. Ultimately, of course, public pressure will force the government to do something about this because the country cannot grow without a deficient telecommunications system. I want to thank Rev Channel 212 for the Festival of Sidney Poitier Films and also Zed Ness for showing his films.
Okay, so there you have it, Fred Mitchell and his comments there. And cannot say that what he's saying is untrue. We all experience it, and it's not just one company. It seems to be just the telecommunications sector in general having plenty issues here. But you heard what he said. This is a quote, "What is happening sucks." That's the word there. Let's get your reaction to it. What do you say to this? He's talking about the challenges we're having with the networks. He's specifically speaking about the mobile phone issues, but the internet is also a major challenge. More so with one company than the other. But we are having those issues, and they continue despite the complaints, despite people saying these things all the time, that nothing seems to happen. And he mentioned 5G. Both companies don't seem to be very interested in implementing 5G. We're hearing lots of excuses. But here we are. Everybody else in the world seems to have it, and yet it's barely talked about here. What do you make of it, and what is the challenge? And why is Fred Mitchell speaking and not other people? Is that odd to you? Is that fine? At least somebody speaking. Should IRCA be saying more as well? What's happening? Let's talk. 325-4316. 323-6232 or 325-4259. Really, only one of those lines is working, and that's another issue, right? And that's not, so as we talk about telecommunications, 325-4316, and that's been going on for weeks, and we've been back and forth with the phone companies about it as well, but here we are, struggling with that problem as well that seems to go unfixed or unfixable. And text us 422-4796. Let's hear what you have to say. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. How are you?
Doing well.
Listen, man, Mr. Mitchell is on target. I've been talking about this issue for years. I think these providers are not spending or investing in monies to upgrade their systems. It's almost like they're going the cheap way. They need to invest in more equipment in order to provide quality service to our customers, man. I know both companies are at fault, and IRCA needs to put some pressure on them. I mean, especially in the Bahamas, you're talking about technology and moving on in this type of tech world. You're gonna have to have up high speed and not these dropping lines and all that stuff. Your system's going down, especially in the food store. Sometimes, if you want to buy stuff at the food store, it's the credit card thing.
Yeah.
System goes down. So IRCA and the Bahamas government really have to talk to these providers. And if not, you bring another provider in, my brother. Competition.
Right.
Thank you.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, we might be too small for that, but if we're struggling with the ones that we have, perhaps that might be the answer. That might be the only way to go. You mentioned the credit card machines. Often I notice that when the power goes off, it's another entity that IRCA regulates. But when the power goes off, that's when you run into the big problems. That's when everybody says, oh, our card machines are down. And here we are. Stuck again, right? But plenty issues that need to be addressed. Absolutely. Continue to call in. The one working line, 325-4316. 325-4316. Your text messages on this. This person says here, I agree. The service is behind the times. Liberty Latin America seems to be only interested in Latin America. My phone regularly drops. Okay, yeah, to H+. What is that, like 3G or something? And the slower networks. Okay, yeah, that's a big problem. Another one here. This one says, with reference to BTC, why is the good minister lamenting the woes at BTC instead of urging his comrades to fix the problems? Which comrades? We're supposedly the 51% owner of BTC, aren't we? What is going on? Oh, well, not really. No, remember, it was 49 and 49, and the 2% that went into the thing, whatever that is, and supposed to be. Yeah. So, not really. But, yeah. We're not the owner. Don't. We got a lot of interest in it, a lot of percentage, but not decision-making. Not at all. No. This person says that IRCA should be taking the lead. Indeed, well, something. We don't hear much from them on it at all. And everybody's having these issues, right? Especially internet. It's going from, as he said, worse to worser. What is that all about? 325-4316. 325-4259. And text us 422-4796. All right. While that's going on, we've got a lot of people talking about the school issue and education. There's some very good comments here, and we can talk about that as well. Looking at how the government high school used to be, and people saying that only those who benefit from the government high school should give back. The rest of us should just find more fertile grounds for our resources. I don't know if I understand your text. Okay. Sure. This here, I agree with a select grammar school. I had a quality public education, but the learning environment is not the same anymore. I went to UWI. I did not know any Barbadian who didn't go to a top 3 high school. They had to compete for their spot, and it kept the standard of education high. We need to get back to that. Yeah, that's a controversial view, but I do agree. This text here, I don't understand how so many influential people passed through government high school and have let it turn to what it is today. It's just odd to me. You think we would ever let SAC turn into a school like this or QC? That should have always been the beacon for all government schools. Boy, yeah. Well, it was a great conversation we had earlier explaining what shifted there, what caused that shift, but it's not too late to have the discussion about revisiting a concept like that, right? All right, so we're talking about a couple of issues here this morning. Again, the telecommunications challenges that we're facing and what should be done. Do we need the government to step in, and what form should that take? And talking about the education system as well. Do we need to have something like the government high school again in the country? Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Alan Johnson.
Hi.
Just let me say that those last two statements you made are actually interconnected. The education system as well as the technical infrastructure that the Bahamas has. We can see that the education system is rooted in the 20th century. So we've been basically using 19th century concepts in the 20th century infrastructure trying to teach 21st century kids. When you talk about the infrastructure, it's a lot to be desired. In fact, when we sold BTC, it was to the point that it needed to be upgraded. We may not have realized that because we just thought that something was going to improve and it's not been upgraded. Some switches and things that can move around, but infrastructurally, there has been some improvement towards it, but not necessary for what we now face. As of 2023, we've now moved into what is called a knowledge economy, where information and ideas move at the speed of thought. What the government needs to do is more about a policy position, not utterances by the mouth, but actually a written policy paper that actually defines the future that we are to possess. And the policy paper will address some of the very things that you and I have spoken about concerning the various different laws, because again, we will not have as much as $1 billion that's needed to rebuild the infrastructure to be competitive in a global environment. We can't piecemeal this, but there has to be some laws concerning real laws, concerning data, real laws concerning digitization. The policy position will bring individuals here. Are you familiar with what is happening in Miami?
In terms of
technology, the mayor of Miami simply responded to a tweet to Elon Musk when he's having issues, and it says that he told him that he wouldn't have the problem here. You won't have the problem that you're having anywhere else here. That shot Miami straight up into the top 5 or 6 contender to become the digital replacement for Silicon Valley, even though our structure and connectivity is simply comparable. But billions of dollars are poured into Miami over the last year, just in anticipation of that growth and development. The fact that we are just spitting distance from a technological standpoint away from Miami, a proper policy paper would almost create a symbiotic type environment based on where we are and the technology that can reach us within a matter of months. And what you mean by that is that you remember the bill that the last previous referendum passed for people to work in the Bahamas? I forget the name of it. They used to call it the Brent Stimulus Bill. But just use an example. When Donald Trump was sending technological people out of the country, we said we have this bill and people don't want to come to the Bahamas. But it came. The reason for that is that here it is that he was moving people out of the country to protect intellectual property protection. We don't really have one. So our confusion was that he's sending people out of the country to protect the IP, the global fight for intellectual property. But we was going to have them put the same people out of the country here in the Bahamas without no protection and give them the same technology that he's trying to protect. And so that tells us that we now need a strong intellectual property type environment to cause technology companies and others to want to come here and deposit themselves here and have the protection they have. It's not a couple of minutes conversation. It's a wonderful conversation that I would love me or someone else to to actually have. But we are sitting on the cups of the fact that the Bahamas, and people have said this, and I told people to dispute me with this. We are the only place in the world, as I know today, that instantaneously can become a data jurisdiction, providing constitutional data privacy, constitutional data protection, and constitutional data sovereignty. The world runs on data. People are trying to repossess their data for the way people have ASCAP and BMI does. So they're trying to protect their data. We can protect them, or if they are to be exploited, we can come just like BMI ASCAP to say, look, you have to pay for it. It is so much possibilities based just on our geolocation for the very fact that both China and the United States is fighting for global supremacy in information, data, artificial intelligence, and quantum computing.
Yeah.
And we are ideal to be the man in the middle. You know, like how Qatar is the man in the middle for the Middle East. We could become the man in the middle based on simple legislation, and then we'll cause the money to flow in here. But it's
Let me ask you this before you go. So, I mean, you heard what Mitchell is saying. He's saying that the companies seem to be more concerned about selling handsets, phones, than
no, that's what
anything
they
else.
always have. See, the problem is BTC and Alive are appliance companies. BTC, Alive, and Cable Bahamas are appliance companies.
Oh,
You don't go
electronics,
to
I guess.
the
Yeah,
appliance,
sure.
you don't go to the appliance store to buy anything but appliances. Basically, they buy people technology, and as a consumer, you buy it and you use it. Alive is nothing more than the same as you putting Wi-Fi in the park, except you put it for the entire Bahamas and you charge it.
All right, so what do we do to get them to do what we need to get to the point that you're talking about? Do we have? Is it competition? Because it's
Policy. See, we have this thing about we trying to protect them. We're only trying to protect them because government has interest in them. What happens is if you open the market for competition, this is a policy position. What happens is they will die. The infrastructure will not go anywhere. They'll just be consumed as incorporated into maybe a new company, because even the old technology we have gotten rid of is still valid in a digital environment. The same TDMA and these other things and the CDMA that we don't use and everything else. The problem is that you have this beautiful opportunity to create this environment, but we have created a consumer. What does BTC does? Tell you stuff to consume. They just simply take your pennies, dollars, whatever from you. What does Cable Bahamas do? Do the same thing that you could get for streaming on the internet as using IP addressing because we are blocked. What else do they do? The BTC do? Cable Bahamas, BTC, and Alive are just variation of the same company. In fact,
all right. So I mean,
let me just one point. All three of them buy their information from the same Liberty Global. They're the same company. They go to the same manufacturer and they just sell it to you in different forms. Actually, the same thing.
So, but do you think, you hear him mention that it was a bad idea to sell BTC, this whole story again. Does it sound like someone is suggesting that the government get involved in this again and play an active role in the telecommunications sector? Is that what you're thinking they're thinking?
I don't know exactly what they're thinking, but clearly it cannot be to impose anything on BTC and Alive, because essentially what you're doing is basically buying new dresses for the old lady. So we need some young kids in this game, and so which means new technology. The world is moving on from the very technology we have, and we talk about 5G. 5G is not about cellular service. You notice how everybody say, "Oh, we need 5G." Would you want faster speed to do what? Facebook, social media, all that? That's not what 5G is about. 5G happens that you can have cellular on 5G, but 5G is about the industrial complex, the industrial revolution. So it just tells you the mindset of us when we saying we want to be able to get 5G phones. It doesn't change the technological deficiencies of the Bahamas. So now you can get TV, movies, and social media faster. How do we use 5G to put in businesses, to manage traffic, to manage utilities, to manage all of these different things? That's what 5G is about.
Yeah.
But the problem is that we have the same people who fought the digital revolutions we have now advising government and other things, and even ministers who was anti-technology, that is telling them what to do. This, when you start talking about buying technology for country development, you don't look to 5-year celebrities. You look to the technocrats that actually understand, the innovators, the builders. In fact, you look to people and ask them, what would draw you to the Bahamas? What would bring you here? And globally and locally and regionally, they would tell us. But it is not buying a bigger, brighter appliance store that sells the latest devices. It's the infrastructure that is important for people to come to build on. And that's the conversation we're not having. You know, and Minister Mitchell is absolutely correct. It's a device thing. But if he continues saying that we need better device store, then he too is wrong. We need better, faster, bolder infrastructure. We don't need to keep talking about what
No, I think he's saying that.
Williams did decades ago. That's done.
Yeah.
And technology is advanced.
I do think he's saying that, but again, through what means? Which way does he want to get there?
But it's the simplest thing. It's already said. We don't need the government. Don't need money, and if the government needs money, we can raise it. But in the infrastructure, billions is being made daily, raised daily in this infrastructure. But you can't raise it on an idea. It must be raised on a strategy. But people will come in here and build out this infrastructure in the same way they build out other countries. It's your laws that control. They want to know what is the laws that will, this infrastructure I build and be subject to, what control would government have, what influence it will have, and everything else concerning, interruption of services, seizing assets, all of these things. These are the conversations that we have to have concerning this whole new thing where we're always talking about these different economies that relies 100% on data, and you can't get data on a phone. You can't get it really in the purest sense in a house. We talk about fiber to the premises, but guess what? They're all using shared bandwidth, even going to the premises. So it's like, you jam up in the bus, and then when you run into your house, you're the only one running into your house. But when you come back out, you jam back up into the bus. All of these things that have to be happening, so we don't go to just the marketing of using these terms. When you say fiber to the premises, you are getting pure 1,000 gigabytes, and these type of environment, because these carbon economy shares, all these different economy models is 100% data thing. But just let me say this right. Just one thing, you'll never have everything I said until you fix one thing. You know what the one thing is?
What's that?
Energy. Everything I talked about, every technology company is 98% energy. So yes.
So never then, never.
So you would never get a company in here that's paying $5 million a month in Miami for electricity to come here to start paying $50 million a month in this environment. It's not going to happen.
Oh, boy.
You're not going to pay 10 times as much.
All right.
But it is easy to fix. Go green. Again, policy. Go green. Don't have BPL, go green. Have companies come in, go green. They'll provide electricity for 5 cents, 6 cents, whatever. So we really need to have this conversation.
Yeah. See, Alan, thank you so much. Appreciate the time. A lot to think about there. We've got a lot of your messages to get to after the break. We'll get to those. This is Morning Ben. We'll take more calls as well. This is Morning Ben Business on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express Plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
Tokyo is calling, and your Scotiabank MasterCard could take you there. For every transaction valued $100 or more with your Scotiabank MasterCard, you receive a digital entry for a chance to win a priceless experience for two in Tokyo, Japan. Online or overseas transactions will double your chance to win. Promotion valid from December 16th, 2022 to January 13th, 2023. Conditions apply. For more information, visit bs.scotiabank.com.
Always on the go? Missed the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
Clicking paid merchant service by Fidelity. Accepted credit and debit card, that's the way it should be. Mobile in fixed terminal and online banking too. E-commerce and pay button is waiting for you. Fidelity. Fidelity, we good for you.
The new Guardian Radio app is here. Listen live to all our Guardian Radio shows and live video stream select programs in our studio. Get information about Guardian Radio shows and our hosts. Send messages, including text, email, and even call. All from our amazing new Guardian Radio app. Download it free today in your App Store for your Apple device or Play Store for your Android device. The all-new and improved Guardian Radio app.
Tokyo is calling, and your Scotiabank MasterCard could take you there. For every transaction valued $100 or more with your Scotiabank MasterCard, you receive a digital entry for a chance to win a priceless experience for two in Tokyo, Japan. Online or overseas transactions will double your chance to win. Promotion valid from December 16, 2022 to January 13, 2023. Conditions apply. For more information, visit bs.scotiabank.com.
Earning zero interest on your savings at the bank? With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
It's time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. East Grand Bahama Member of Parliament Kwesi Thompson, who's also the Shadow Minister of Finance, accusing the government of imposing additional costs on customs brokers in an already high climate of inflation with the integration of the new Bahamas Customs Click-to-Clear system. The new computer system requires that customs brokers download a specific program and pay a monthly user fee in order to interact with the Click-to-Clear portal. That new integration went into effect on January 3rd. Thompson is in a statement questioning the legal basis for the new system. You can read all about his concerns in today's Guardian Business section. The main focus of the Bahamian Contractors Association in 2023 will be the establishment of a national database of building skills. BCA President Leonard Sands saying that even with the boom in the construction industry in the past year, the industry still loses out to foreign contractors and workers. He says the biggest challenge they have to do is a better job with training and documenting skills, the skills capacity out there. His comments are in Guardian Business today as well. And Bahamian-owned beverage brand Mega Malt is now being sold in Walmart stores across the U.S., a feat that is, quote, just as great as winning several Olympic gold medals. That's according to the Bahamas' first Olympic track and field medalist and Mega Malt owner, Frank Rutherford. Now that Rutherford and his brewery and distribution network have Walmart in the bag, increasing production to meet the demands of 1,500 Walmart locations is the next big leap. He says that Walmart demands 1 million to 1.5 million cases. While he did not want to say the size of the investment needed to get the world's biggest retailer and expand production, he explained that it was a significant achievement. And ongoing as well. Rutherford says getting his malt beverage into Walmart has been a big dream of his for some time, but now he's setting himself up for the end game, buyout by a big corporation. Overseas, thousands of flight delays and cancellations rippling across the U.S. today after a computer outage led to a grounding order for all departing aircraft by the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration. It's a breaking story. The FAA is working to restore what is known as the Notice to Air Missions system. Before commencing a flight, pilots are required to consult this system, NOTAMS, or Notices to Air Missions, which list potential adverse impacts on flights from runway construction to the potential for icing. The system used to be telephone-based, with pilots calling dedicated flight service stations for the information, but it has now moved online. While the White House initially said there is no evidence of a cyber attack, U.S. President Joe Biden says they don't know for sure, and he told reporters that he's directed the Department of Transportation to investigate the cause of the disruption. The FBI did not immediately respond to a request for seeking comment from the Associated Press. The stop order was lifted just before 9 a.m., but delays and cancellations are expected to snowball. Departure gates at major airports are filled with aircraft, and that they've been grounded for hours. More than 21,000 flights were scheduled to take off in the U.S. today, mostly domestic trips, and about 1,840 international flights expected to fly to the U.S. More than 4,300 flights were delayed and more than 800 were canceled by 9:30 this morning. Again, this is a developing story. Please continue to listen to the Guardian News Network and AP News for the very latest on this. And chickens may not be able to fly very far, but the price of eggs is soaring. A lingering bird flu outbreak combined with soaring feed, fuel, and labor costs, leading the U.S. egg prices to more than double over the past year. And they've hatched a lot of sticker shock on grocery aisles as well. The national average price for a dozen of eggs in the U.S. hit $3.59 in November, up from $1.72 a year earlier. That's putting stress on consumer budgets and the bottom lines of restaurants, bakeries, and other food producers that rely heavily on eggs. Grocery prices that were up 12% in November are driving inflation higher, even though the overall pace of price increases slowed a bit through the fall as gas prices eased. But egg prices are up significantly more than other foods, even more than chicken or turkey. That's because egg farmers were hit harder by the bird flu. More than 43 million of the 58 million birds slaughtered over the past year to control the virus had been egg-laying chickens, including some farms with more than 1 million birds apiece in major egg-producing states like Iowa. Everyone who approaches the store now in the grocery section and many across the U.S. and here in the Bahamas as well, shocked and upset often at the price of a dozen eggs. In your market watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Monday. Your market movers: Consolidated Water unchanged at $2.93, and Emira Incorporated at $9.52 unchanged. Your BISX All Share Index closing at 2,645.25 unchanged. That's your market watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And we are back here with Morning Blend Business. Dwight Strong with you. We are talking about the telecommunications sector in the country, the challenges that Minister Fred Mitchell is raising about the standards, calls dropping, internet service, the slowing systems, and the lack of 5G and the lack of interest, it seems, by the companies to implement 5G, and why they seem to be more concerned about retail than about infrastructure. And we are trying to figure out what he's suggesting. He has said it before. He said it in an interview on Guardian Radio about a year ago that he thinks that perhaps the government should supply 5G and that the companies rent the service from them. I'm paraphrasing a lot there, but that's basically along the lines. I want to get your reaction to all of this. What do you make of that? And what do you make of what he's saying about the quality of the service just disintegrating? He says it sucks. That's his word, sucks. Let's hear from you. 325-4316 on our one working telephone line. One. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Well, hey, Happy New Year to you, Dwight.
Yeah, same old, though.
And I hope your one working line stays up for you. I'm on my knees.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
I can imagine. I've imagined for the last 20 years with C. Allen. You know, I just want to hit the Contractors Association upset today. Well, the Commercial Enterprise Bill 2018, he should go read that and then weep. Let's move on. You know, I've said for almost 25 years, you'll have no country without affordable, sustainable, reliable, and secure energy. You have to have energy. And C. Allen harped on that yet again. But with the 5G thing, C. Allen is correct once again. Having 5G makes no sense.
He didn't say that.
Well, if you have no connection to it, see, you need, let me see if I could explain it. You have a Ferrari, a sports car, with a big, powerful motor, but you got some little skinny, no good, no tread tires on it. It ain't going to work. What we need, imagine this, if the wire coming from Miami that brings all your internet as big as your arm, what if you had a wire to replace that was as big as your waist? It could send more information, correct?
Indeed.
Right. And so we need a bigger wire. And I'm trying to be as layman as I can, and that's why it's hard. But we need a bigger cable coming to connect us so the 5G fast iPhone 14 could work at its peak. Just because it says, I could actually have my phone saying LTE and yours could say 5G, but if you're on that skinny wire and I'm on that big, thick wire, my phone's going to move faster. And I don't know, did that make sense?
It does.
Great, because I'm trying to be more sensible this year.
But why do you think they are so slow to move in this direction? I mean, what's going on?
Well,
In fact, Seattle was right. One of them did, or was it Mitchell who said that? One of them did say the country needs to decide which one you want. Do you want a third provider or do you want 5G? Because you can't have both. Remember somebody said that?
I'll take the third provider, and I'll take LTE on a bigger cable with a third provider. And I've spoken to some people who are willing to give you free internet at 5G speeds on that new cable in exchange for allowing the thick cable to run through the Bahamas to South America, because they will make the money on all of the South Americans they will charge, and you will pay nothing because of your location, because there's only a couple 100,000 people here. Now, does that make sense? Free internet, Dwight, because we have a strategic location, and we will allow them to run their thick wire through the Bahamas, so they will run this new big highway through the Bahamas, and we'll be allowed to use it for free because they're going to charge the millions and millions of people in South America to use the highway. Isn't that sensible? But it would put some people out of business. It would put phone companies, cable companies, and the people who have the skinny wire out of business. Now, I could provide our government the connection with the people in America that want to do this, like 2 years ago. Does it make sense what I'm saying, Dwight? Because if I'm not saying it the right way, I can say it a different way.
Okay.
But somebody wants to put a new road through the Bahamas, big highway, we can use it for free in exchange for letting it be put through our country. Now that, we won't even see it because it's just a wire big as your waist that travels under the water from Florida to Puerto Rico and connecting South America. And so if it doesn't happen, Dwight, remember what I said, it's intentional because the offer is there and it's no charge to us.
Oh, boy.
In addition, they want to give free tablets to all of our school kids to get us to that higher learning that C. Allen speaks about. Now, I'm going to leave you with this. Free internet, free 5G on a new wire, but it won't work unless you have affordable electricity. And I've been saying that. And I'd like to have the two of these things happen for us this year. But if not, I'm going to the beach.
Wow.
Have a good one, Dwight.
Okay, take care. Let's read these messages before we wrap things up. This person says here, all utilities here are trash, man. My cable box has been loading since last week, and my on-demand ain't worked ever. Well, I think that's been discontinued, I believe, correctly. Well, at least one of the companies. But anyway, BTC still can't complete the one Fire Trail Road for fiber since before COVID, and we're back to random unexplained blackouts and outages. ERCA is just as worthless, though, all talk. Wow. Okay. They're saying H+, I've never heard of this, is basically slightly faster than 3G. Oh, well, that's terrible. Okay. This one says, I just came back from the U.S. last night. Roaming did not work. We pay 3 times more for internet service at the office and have both carriers, and it still sucks. They cut off phones at the office even when we've paid, and not even an apology or compensation, as we cannot service our customers. We've emailed ERCA many times and not even an acknowledgement of receipt of the email. Cancel the current industry and start over. Wow. Boy, frustration there. Another one says, I think the government needs to intervene with what is going on at BTC because I've noticed that they are not even checking with the technicians to ensure that they've completed the assignment. given to them, which I suppose is the supervisor's job. Obviously, in my case, no one followed up. Another one, after paying my deposit to BTC Internet Service, it took them 6 months to come to my house to connect the service. 3 weeks later, the service goes out and never worked again. After numerous calls, he just gave up as a technician never showed up. I think we need another company locally to provide this service and to create even more competition in the market. The other option we currently have is just as bad or worse. Wow. And this one says, assuming Fred Mitchell is correct, we have to determine what he's referring to. Is he talking about WhatsApp calls or regular calls? Because I believe the providers have some leeway on WhatsApp quality and certainly have an incentive not to improve quality since it is of no value to them. Thirdly, we need to understand where we are. What does poor mean, as in poor service? Once we know that, then we can estimate time, cost, and effort to be great. Okay, interesting points, but if it is WhatsApp, I mean, that sounds like also a challenge with the internet, the data, right? So, but we I'm not too sure about regular calls dropping frequently. I'm not too sure about that one. Recently, they haven't had issues, but the internet has been challenging, and data has been challenging for a lot of people. We know there are issues. We all can go on for hours about the issues we've had with the companies, but what's happening? These are complaints that people had 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and yet we're still here and still facing the same type of challenges. What's supposed to happen? Is he going to be the lone wolf out there making the noise outside of the consumers who are complaining, but nobody else seems to be listening? What's happening there exactly, and what needs to be the way forward? Will we be talking like this in a year still? I suspect so. But anyway, very interesting comments. We'll see if what comes out of it, whether the companies respond. Will they issue statements? Will IRCA say anything? What is going on? We'll keep you posted, though. Anyway, that is